What's up, everybody? This is Zero. Give me a second. I'm finishing sharing up one of these, and I will get started very shortly. Okay, I'm back. Hey, the Ugly Try GG. Yeah, I was gonna do the one on the Mandela effect, but I didn't get enough confirmations to really be sure to talk. Anybody y'all gonna. I know Gigi probably be here, but I wasn't sure if you gonna be on the Ugly Try, but. So I just went ahead and did the other topic I was actually going to do yesterday, but just didn't do it. So so yeah, so yeah. Today we're gonna talk about how to spot a fake spiritual teacher. So let me get my notes real quick and give you the signs on how to spot a fake teacher or a fake guru. Because I'm sure a lot of people have had these teachers that promise you, great spiritual advancement, like very quickly. And and from the ones that are real ones, I say they usually keep it real with you about how that's gonna go down. Hey, Miss Full Roller, okay, I can see your comment yet on StreamYard, but I see it on the phone. So I'm gonna give out like a few signs that maybe the spirit teacher that the person that's claiming to be a spirit teacher or enlightened being may not actually be what they claim to be. So here are some ways to identify them. Fake guru, fake teacher. One, charging large amounts of money. And it says like actions speak infinitely louder than words. Anyone can proclaim magnificent and wonderful things, but do these words live with how a person lives, express themselves in his or her everyday lives? Yeah, so so I mean, it's pretty much like you have a lot of teachers that are just claim to that'll claim to to have this spiritual information that like for a reason they're gonna keep it. They're gonna keep the information close to the best. The only way you're gonna learn this information is if you pay the amount of money to to gain this knowledge, to gain enlightenment. Like you can buy your way to enlightenment, like you can buy your way into enlightenment. So yeah, I mean, it's not like it's not rare that that would happen, but not saying that everybody who is spiritual teacher is these things. So anybody that's under spiritual teacher don't think I'm talking about yours. I mean, let's science fit or something like that. But if they don't, then they don't. If they do, I don't know what to tell you. And another one is giving themselves fancy titles. Of course, why the subject of empty words. We're looking at a potential spiritual teacher for guidance. Notice that the individual proclaims such magnificent titles, referring themselves as being enlightened masters, self-realized yogis, or being a sage. One of the ultimate delusions of grandeur following the narcissistic Christ complex. An enlightened person finds no need for ego masturbation. I don't know if I get my kind of thing now for that, but oh well, that's what it is. But like of course those who've actually experienced it don't really be wanting to, have big titles or kind of brag about how enlightened they are because if you went through a whole lot of stuff to get enlightened, you ain't got no need to brag because as a matter of fact, you'll probably be super humble, probably too humble to a fault. And then another one is inability to take criticism. Another sign of a con man is in guru's clothing is whether or not the person is able to take criticism or not. Those who are not genuine spiritual teachers will get offended, will who are not genuine teachers will get offended and defensive over criticisms made towards them instead of looking inward and taking into consideration what those criticisms are. Nobody's perfect after all. How dare an unenlightened mortal criticize them? But like, anybody like, has some form of enlightenment, they gonna be able to take it because they'll be like, "Oh, okay, maybe, you know, maybe it is, and if it isn't true, they'll be able to brush it off pretty easily. No, okay, I can see why you think this way, or well, that's not true, and this is why it's not true. Something like that. Let's see, I got through already. One, two. Okay, yeah. Okay, okay. The fourth one, overly focused on the end goal. If you notice a spiritual teacher or guru having an almost bizarre love affair with enlightenment this and enlightenment that, be cautious. Many of these enlightenment gurus focus on enlightenment instead of actually teaching others how to attain that state. They do not teach about all the baby steps leading up to enlightening one's awareness in the most authentic ways. Even the revered Buddha did not really reach enlightenment overnight. Less spiritual teacher shows you a realistic way to reach enlightenment, such as through a particular meditation or awareness expanding technique. Then you'll be better off without the help and keep your heart on money as well. And that is very true because if they just talking about, well, just be enlightened, and they don't tell you how to do it. They just kind of give you these vague as, just trust the universe and everything's gonna work out. You know, you just gotta stay positive. You gotta go back to the toxic positivity. Stay positive, just positive vibes, and you'll be enlightened. And that's not how enlightenment works at all. I think even when you're enlightened, you'll still keep moving forward because no one's ever truly done. And we'll say, "Oh, well, perfection." Well, our idea of perfection is imperfect because if we were taking the idea of perfection from what we from what we have idealized it to be, that just means somebody who has peaked, they can't go any further. There is no higher level they can go. They can never keep growing. They become stagnant. And if that's perfection, I don't really want that. Because as human beings, we should be able to keep reaching higher and higher. And then, of course, the obvious one goes to my fifth point: behaving hypocritically. Beware of hypocrites. Perhaps, of course, perhaps one of the simplest methods of weeding out spiritual snake oil salesmen. Yeah, of course, you're allowed to be angry. But then again, but of course, you're allowed to have those emotions. But of course, someone's lighting knows not to get stuck in those emotions. So look at if they practice what they preach. Which if you're not seeing, if they telling you one thing and you're not seeing them do it at all, or you see them doing something opposite of what they're saying. Of course, that should be the biggest sign to take your money back. This ain't. This is not for you. So I don't think I really talk too much about that because of course, there's already a lot of fakes out here. So hypocrisy is kind of the norm. Especially around conscience and new age circles, and I guess it's all around spiritual groups. You know, and and I'm gonna get into it a little bit later after I get to reading the rest of these. Uh, next, the sixth one, explain spiritual materialism, and stereo spiritual materialism is was a term coined by Chonga Trumpa, and let me see the exact definition. Okay, here you go. The term used to describe mistakes of spiritual seekers commit, which turn into spirituality into an ego building and confusion creating endeavor based on the idea that ego development is counter to spiritual progress, which, yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean, if you don't develop your ego, you can't move forward. Because as much as you'll hear a lot of spiritual circles like, get out of the ego, let you got to get rid of that ego. You can't get rid of ego. You can learn how to control it because it's a part of you, so you can't get rid of it. It's gonna always be there. So if you're trying to get rid of that ego, yeah, that's not going to help you at all. And anyone who is, being on the path of, self-realization or enlightenment knows that it's going to be a longer process, and you can't get, if you're using spirituality to try to gain money or any type of, gaining something, superficial, yeah, that's you're going to the wrong person. Because I know a lot of people, a lot of groups that use this law of attraction, which it is an actual universal law, like, but the way they tell it is unrealistic, and it kind of goes back into toxic positivity. They try to say, "Oh, well, just think positive. Everything will magically appear in front of you," and that's just you know idiotic to actually think that's how it works. I mean, you can get into the right mindset and make it happen, but you got to put in action. You got to put in the work. So then another one is behaving selfishly. Now, I would say to a certain point, I agree with this, but it's like saying, well, not in a way of not helping everyone else. And selflessness is a quality that that you do kind of develop when you reach a certain path in spirituality. In your spiritual journey, like when you're really on it, when you really taking the spiritual path seriously. But but yeah, I mean, everything should be focused on the self, but when I meant like I don't fully agree with selfishness, like, and I remember hearing this guy Savon Bowman, he had said something like, yeah, you should be like you saying people that say selfish, selfish is a bad thing. So like people who are just doing it for themselves only go like 50% selfishness, 50% selfish. I'm like, and then he said like if you go 100% selfishness, it becomes selflessness, and I didn't fully understand it at the time, but now more I think about it, you know, when you're going 100% selfishness, even when it's about you, it's like you're thinking about yourself so much that you're thinking about everything around you and how things affect you. So in the end, being completely selfish actually helps helps other people because now you'll see that helping other people actually helps you. What you got going? Oh, okay. Mm. As I get through with these things, we gonna have break up here, have a talk. Okay, I think we go to the last one. Promoting a fast path to self-realization. And although there's nothing wrong with spiritual workshops themselves, but when you see a spiritual teacher giving a course that's several hundred, several $1,000 and lasts several days, even weeks, do not expect to reach enlightenment by just by completing such a workshop. Yes, we all live busy lives and we feel as if we do not have enough time to dedicate towards our spiritual growth. But let's be realistic. It is highly unlikely that you become fully realized in 3 weeks on a retreat in Bali or anywhere else. So yeah, anybody that tells you that they give you the fast track, oh, you'll be fully self-realized after you're done. That's not gonna happen. I mean, like everybody's path to self-realization comes in their own time. Some people faster, some people slower, but it comes in its due time. You can't rush it, even if you want to. Can't rush it. So you're just gonna have to, go with it as it comes. So with that, I kinda explained that. Let me go ahead and invite some people up here. Not gonna be on long, so go. Yeah, we gonna talk about it. Yeah, come on up here. Yeah, but it is quite, and I know, like I see like a lot of spiritual teachers in the conscious and new age movement, and I don't really even watch most of them because it's like, what do they have to really offer me? I done been on the spiritual journey since I was a kid, so like I done seen and done a lot of stuff. So it's like, what can I, get out of that hasn't already been done for me? So I look at it like that, and I'm gonna give it about another 2 or 3 minutes. If no one comes on, I'm just gonna end it. And I ain't really expect it to be that long anyway. So okay, all right. And it's Gigi on the panel. How you doing? You hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sound a little low.
Oh, can you hear me now or no?
I can hear you, but it sounds low.
Okay, let me take it. Okay, better?
I say it again.
Better?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you fighting with the mic, and the mic almost won.
I go through mics like crazy.
be
I
like
put
be like the food be like the
earphones on
Fugees.
mics.
Be like the Fugees. How many mics?
Right? Does it? I mean, it takes a bunch of mics. um, but yeah, I see what you're saying about the spiritual and people thinking they're right about everything, and I'm like,
What the
I got my little.
what the fake ones? The fake ones.
Yeah, right. The fake one, especially the fake ones. The fake ones are manipulators. They know what they're doing. They're scammers. That's
Yeah,
what a
man.
scam artist do. You
Yeah,
know.
man. I mean, that's what they do. They're selling people spirituality. They sell people like a path to enlightenment, which you can't buy it. I mean,
False light.
anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a lot of people fall for it. And I remember I was on Instagram like maybe a month or two ago, and they had somebody promoting this, had an advertisement for the spiritual program. So I started to look at it. I wasn't going to actually sign up for it, but I was just curious about what it was about. So they had like this old quiz, like, okay, take this quiz, see where you're at. So took the quiz. I was like, okay, and after you take the quiz, there's a guy that tell you, oh yeah, this is where it was a guy tell you like starts off introduction and tells you, oh yeah, this is the level where you're at. So, I mean, I took it like honestly. Then I was like, okay, let me see if it'll say something different if I just choose all the choices that would consider like the negative choices, like the selfish choices.
Mhm.
And I clicked all of them because like when I first took it, say, oh yeah, you're awakened meditator or something like that. So then I took it again and had the video. I'm thinking, okay, well, it's gonna probably tell me something else. Probably
Mhm.
had another video for that. And then when he gives the introduction, then it tells you what you already said. Oh yeah, you're awakened meditator. I'm like, I don't get how. It's like, and it was like, okay. So it's like when I started realizing that, oh, no matter what I put on there, you're gonna say I'm a awakened meditator. I mean, he's gonna be slick with it too, because it was like different levels, and like he awakened meditates like in the middle. So it's like, oh yeah, we should put you in the middle. So it make it think. So I want to make it think like it's a scam by putting you like, oh yeah, you're enlightened, or you're getting close to it. It's like say, oh well, you could be awakened one if you take my course.
Mhm.
And I think like I remember after like seeing that, I was like looking at the comments. I'm like, I just put in there. I said it's kind of funny how it says awakened meditator. No matter what question I put on there, I just add that comment in there now. I don't know if it's because of me or they just stopped advertising it, but I ain't seen the advertisement since.
Well, you know, certain people have a knack for like developing like a sense of self-worth, or I don't know, but you know what they do too is that's a cult mentality. I
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of them create codes too.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, when you need followers like that, when you need people to sit there and listen to you like be something you're not
Yeah,
God. Like and I'm like, how do you know? Like that's why
yeah,
when I did my little card game, I'm like, this is a game. This is a card. These are card. This is not me. But of course, yes, I've come to a place where I've realized what I'm capable of. But I ain't selling no dreams. Cause I'm like, you got your own. You look, you can change this around for you if you want to. Like for some reason, people don't know that people have, willpower, and but people like to get manipulated somehow. So I'm like, uh, this is what I feel. This is how I see it. But then it might not be for you. I don't know. It might change. It's not given.
yeah, yeah. And
Like the
I mean,
weather changes.
yeah, like how like I'm pretty sure you heard of Jim Jones. I'm not talking about the rapper, but the original Jim Jones. Have you heard of him?
Who?
Jim Jones.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him and his cult
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, he was considered a spiritual teacher who
leader.
controlled
Till
who
they found
control.
out later.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, of course, now people know him for the Kool Aid. So it's like where the term "don't drink the
Yeah,
Kool Aid"
drink
comes
don't
from.
drink the Kool-Aid. Yep.
Yeah,
Don't believe the hype. And that's the thing. I'm like, look, I'm only human. Yes, I'm a little bit of an angel on earth. No, I'm just
I'm only
joking.
human after all. I'm only human after all.
Exactly. So
Right.
that's why I'm like, I look at certain people that have like this over ego issue. I don't mind you having ego, right? That means you're confident. But when you impose it on others, I'm like,
Yeah. Well,
Either
let
you
me
think it was okay. Huh?
I'm about to bring Long Lutron.
Hey,
Hey.
my
Oh,
girl.
you say. You say you got a bikini on. We need to see. Let me see that bikini.
Ooh, ooh.
It's laundry day.
Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead.
It
Yeah, let's
looks
go ahead. Yeah.
good.
Come on. Go ahead and show. No, don't. I'm trying to do like little peek. You ain't shy on Instagram.
Oh,
He told on you.
If anybody see your Instagram page, they'll see what I see too.
I'll sleep. You should see my
we
Facebook.
be on Instagram acting a fool. Like
I'm sure it's
this
probably
is
just as bad.
It's
people
worse.
be like, this is the side of you I've
I
never
need to,
seen. I'm like,
I need to check. I'm gonna need that Facebook info after the show.
Sure, it'll probably be deactivated by the time I get you the link.
everybody gonna go flood it.
I'd ask me. I ain't say everybody else. I said, let me.
Oh, okay.
But
Six
but
hundred.
but yeah. But what are your thoughts on fake spiritual teachers? Long Latron?
Fake spiritual teachers. I think it goes back to what Miss Gigi was talking about, like having like an ego. Like everyone like has their alter ego, but then like
Enforcing
I
it.
it doesn't bother me when they have an ego, but then when they kind of like misleading people, like giving out like false information, like when you Zero brought up Jim Jones, like I don't know what kind of teachings he had going on, because he got to a point where he was able to force people to drink whatever he had to give
Yeah.
and keep all them people. Like at some point there's like a line you don't cross.
Yeah. It's pretty much he isolated these people from everybody that they knew. So like even when they wanted to leave, he would he would guilt them. He would guilt the people into staying. Like, oh, well, why would you want to go and do that? You don't want to come back. You don't want to stay here and blah blah blah. I don't remember like exactly how he said it, but he managed to convince people to stay there. Like, it's like cult make you think that the people that you're around and he's all you got. He's all you need. So, when you want to go back to your old life, you're like, nah, what you need to go back there for?
You
Everything
ever
you need
notice?
here.
Ever notice a lot of these spiritual people or these gurus tend when their past catch up with them, they are the worst people ever. Like they do
Yeah,
the worst things
yeah,
ever.
yeah.
Like you can imagine.
A lot of these gurus, yeah, a lot of these gurus use their positions to, like
Manifest
now,
the power.
not. Well, yeah, but yeah, they use their position now to control people, but they use it to sleep with a lot of women. You'll see gurus
Yeah.
like with women around them. And I just be like how are you teaching anybody when you're doing this? It's like, even if you didn't know about their past, just looking at their actions, kind of like just like look suspect. Like, okay, it's, all right, why are they living around you? And like if it, especially if you spending more time, you know, messing around women and and all that, then it's like actual spirit, giving people actual spiritual growth, then that doesn't that doesn't add up. It's like,
And a lot of these places, like you see, like when they say like churches are always near a liquor store.
oh yeah, yeah, oh
It's
yeah.
kind of like
To be truthful, church is like almost. Well, not just churches, but like religion is almost like a cult to a
extend.
certain
Yeah.
degree.
Uh huh.
Varying degrees, but some of them are more cult like, some are like complete cult like, and others are like kind of, but not going that far.
Right. But I mean, it's good to be a leader if you've got the right to teach the right things, right? Like it's not a bad thing to be a teacher. But when you becoming somebody that, like you said, ask for a lot of money, I'm like, what are you? What is this paying for? Because you're not paying towards my future.
Yeah, I can understand like someone had service like, okay, fine, but it's like I say like a spiritual teacher, this he or she
Oh, the
could
believer.
show no, he or she could cannot seem too perfect, like like they are false, but they keep it real with you, and they not trying you, you just like get a sense like this authenticity that like, okay, I know this person don't claim to be perfect, and he is trying to help me, advance myself, but it don't seem like he's trying to get me on the fast track, or trying to hurry up and rush it in a short amount of time because, like I said, self-realization don't have no schedule.
Right.
If you think it has a schedule, I'm like, yeah, you're being fooled and you're fooling yourself. But let me look at some of the comments Miss Full Roller put up there. You have to remember society teaches to at look to them as authority figures that tell you who you are and not to question the foolery, and that the masses have no value other than what they say you have. Yeah, it's pretty much just society all in general, really. But I get what you're saying, Miss Full Roller. Yeah, that,
Like
that is
some
definitely
people
true.
go broke believing these people.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I've seen like I've seen like passes like go on TV and people be giving people giving away their life savings,
To to
for
for holy
to
water.
that or whatever the case is. I'm like thinking like I mean, and I get like the church, if like you have a church, you're having a service and you have a building and you need to pay some bills. I get that. That it's like they just
That's
say that.
understandable.
I mean, they say that. People probably want to say, okay, we'll go, help pay the bills. Okay, fine. But when you talking about, well, God needs your money and all that, I'm like, what does God need my money?
Well, not all of these
What would
people
they?
are bad. Some of
Yeah,
them,
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm,
yeah,
I'm I'm not talking. I'm not talking about the good ones. I'm talking about the ones
yeah.
that are purposely, misleading the people. That's the ones I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
yeah. That's why I said like how to spot the fake ones. Because I'm not talking
Mm-hmm.
about the real ones. The real ones, they doing that thing. Matter of fact, I think a lot of real ones don't even really get a lot of attention, really.
I don't think they do either, which is why I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get it. You don't want that kind of attention anyway. You
Yeah,
don't
I
want
mean,
followers like that.
a lot of them don't even really even want like followers, but like a lot of them, I mean, it'd be rare if somebody who is really, on that path to have a lot of attention. But it's probably, I mean, but if they have that attention, it's probably because it just happened to happen, and they had to, avoid that. Like, I mean, I know like some people who, done like great, done amazing things, like as far as like with spirituality and all that, and some of them have to just go into seclusion because they don't want people, following around. They don't want all that attention.
Hmm.
I remember one time my friend was telling me this time he went to Indonesia and he had met Jack Chain or Dynamo Jack. If you ever see the video of him, he was able to. I think it was like a doctor or something from Japan who was able to actually like actually set paper on fire with just his energy.
Hmm.
And I mean he was able to do it like he wasn't like it wasn't no trick or nothing like that. He actually was able
Could
to use
do it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember my friend, he said he had met him, but he had he had to follow somebody and they had to lead him to a certain cave like where they were like meditating underground. And I think when he talked to him, he would tell him like how he was able to do it. He was saying like when he did like the energy, it was kind of like having electricity. He's like kind of like having electricity come out his fingers and to start fires and all that. So I said that makes sense because your body, your nervous system is full of electrical impulses. So that would make sense if you can create a fast enough electrical charge to actually to shoot out, to bring it to your hand. If you can focus it there and actually start a fire,
Well, that's why
but
we get fevers. You know, that's
as
why we
I
get our senses sometimes are heightened by certain things, or memories come to mind You know, if you smell something or hear a certain voice, because you know, you ever had that syndrome where you think you're not around your mama, but you think you hear her calling you,
Yeah, yeah,
and then you called them and you think about them, and they were like, "I was just thinking about you."
yeah, yeah.
But you know, people like that don't understand it. You know what? Real empaths really get that energy. That really, you know, it's like some people can even defy a little bit of gravity, where they just kind of like you like did that just happen?
Yeah, I mean, as far as empath, like, I mean, people are empathetic to a certain degree, but yeah, there's some that we call empaths are like more sensitive than others. Oh,
Hello, can you guys hear me?
I could still hear you.
Um, I don't know if I can hear him. Oh,
can you hear
okay,
me?
I can hear you now. Yeah,
Okay, okay, yeah. I was just looking at it, looked like it might have been static or something like this. So I just,
you were just speaking about static.
yeah, I was like, yeah, something like me. I said, because I know StreamYard does it sometimes, so I had to like unplug the mic and plug it back in. I said, it's only StreamYard because I thought it was my, because I thought like when it first happened, it was just my mic, but it was really was StreamYard.
It's the energy we're giving off too, I guess.
Yeah,
You know, vibes is a real thing, but you know,
I mean,
people
yeah.
tend to use their popularity to I don't know, to be like misbehave, to you know, it's like the trolls. You like, why are you coming over here disrupting the peace? Like, why? What's your purpose in life? Right? What? Why are you trying to anger me? Because you know, if I really wanted to cuss you out, you would get karma hit on you. You would get cussed.
Well, I mean, as far as trolls, I'm just like, yeah, I don't feed them.
I
I
really
mean,
try not to, but sometimes I
I don't. No, I don't even. I don't feed them. I don't even acknowledge their existence. Like, I mean, unless I just haven't accidentally told them one, I'm thinking like just a regular person. But once I figure out you're a troll, you're gone. I'm not even gonna acknowledge you. It's like, oh, okay,
mm-hmm.
just get them up out of here and keep it moving. Like, you know, I mean, why? I mean, you know, I mean, because like trolls' person purpose just to disrupt. So I'm not gonna give you what you want. So I mean, it's kind.
Ooh,
I mean, you know,
good thing.
I mean, you know, it's like I put in like for my video for like you know a mods to check out. Like you know, I put I tell them like, hey, I don't negotiate with. You know, it's a one shot, one kill. I don't negotiate with terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
We don't negotiate with terrorists. So you know, if you're a troll, you know, I'm considering you a terrorist. So we don't negotiate. We just take you out and keep it moving. But I'm gonna try. You've been kind of silent for a minute. So you got.
Yeah, they kicked my son out the room, so now he's in here with me. So I was, trying to keep it quiet. But there was this quote I saw, Buddha quote. It say, "Conquer anger with non-anger, and then conquer badness with goodness, and then conquer meanness with generosity." I remember like when I was like 16, I was in foster care and had this real like we used to call her Evil D or whatever. And she was a millionaire or whatever. She was like an older black lady, those
Yeah.
bitter old hags. She was one of them type. Like I got one of them types over here right now. And she used to always like harass me and stalk me and watch me and look at me and spy on me. I got a spy here right now. You see what I'm saying? And then, but I never got it. I didn't understand why, I would complain to people. Like one time I was in a beauty supply because she was going to get some hair or whatever. And I went and got me some some stuff for my hair. I was 16, 15, 16, around that age with my foster sister. And I was complaining to the lady in the beauty supply. And she was like, you know what? You have to learn how to kill people with kindness or or something like that. And I never understood what was wrong with like these old bitter hags because I dealt with them like all my life. And I'm like, yo, what's their problem? Like, and it's like the same spirit, but it's like a different body. And I don't get it. I just feel like why are you so obsessed with me? Like, why do you always have to be around me? Like, why you always have to say something to me? Like, why do you need, my attention? Why are you not okay with me living my life as a monk? Like, I'm going through a healing process. So I'm going through all kind of body odors. I need my rest. I get kicked out, the room. Now I gotta be in here with my son on the floor in the living room. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been going through a self-healing journey for a long time, just even trying to research how to clean my womb, detox my womb, my skin, investing in, quality products, my frankincense and myrrh, my spiritual supplies, my incense. And then now it's like these, these hags, these witches and warlocks are like around me, and I know in my midst, I have, I know when I'm in my ego, I know I'm at my false self. I'm not able to, there's nothing I cannot operate from my ego with them. You see what I'm saying? Because they're not real. So, but when I'm at peace, when I'm at my true self, when I'm operating from my higher, faculty, my higher self, my true spirit, my divine spirit, like I know that I'm peaceful and devoid of energy. And I know that I could tap into the unlimited, the all-knowing, the omnipresence everywhere at once. And I know like I at any time can choose to be joyful. At any time I could choose to be sad. I can say certain types of words of powers and hit call and leave here. I can go into meditation and leave here. I can go into trance with certain type of, chants. And then you have all this noise around you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just really sad that people have to come and try to, on the outside, think they could like disturb your peace, but it's something that's within me. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I know that I can tap into, and operating from my ego all the time, I don't have to do that. Like I have my free will. I know how to activate certain things within me that's sleeping, that's dormant. And these people, I don't understand people who don't know how to be by themselves. I don't understand people who don't know how to be at peace. Like, I don't understand people who can't be with their own family. Like, they always got to leave their house and be a busybody in other people's matters. Like, I never understood that. Like, you have a family, right, Zero? You have a family, Miss Gigi. I have a family. I don't understand how other people, how people church hop. I don't know how people can just household hop. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you not with your kids right now? Why are you not with your mother right now? You don't have any disabled relatives to help right now. Like, why are you wasting your time right now to be over here?
They're energy vampires is what they call them. They feed off your light. It's like a moth to a flame. You know what I'm saying? It's like they see your light and they just wanna leech off of you. They think they can get something out of you. Even if it's like angry energy or laughter, they want to clinch to it. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
And it is what it is, and it's scientifically like it's a manipulation tool that they use, and that's why you see when you at least you can understand who's, you can tell the difference, because I can too. I can off the bat tell who's not on my corner. I can
Mhm.
off the bat be like, I'm not messing with you. And I will nip. You're better than me about being nicer to people, because I used to be like that, where I
I
used
caught
to
a
be
case.
like,
I got charged 4 felonies. You know what I'm saying? I took a deal. I can't let them put me what they
back,
do. They
right?
provoke me to get angry so I can fight in front of my son so I can get the same charges, child endangerment, battery assault, spousal,
Okay,
you
don't.
gotta,
Yeah, don't say too much.
yeah.
But but what I'm saying too is also like, yeah, I get online and then I'm like, say I'm doing like we're having a good time on the panel. Everybody's getting along, and then this one person want to come in and say something crazy, and then other people can't see what triggered it. Then later, when they listen back to it, they're like, "Oh, I see where they went wrong with you." And I'm like, you couldn't tell right then and there that that was disrespectful, then that was unnecessary. So, because I nipped it and I went off, and they didn't think I was going to do that because I'm a nice person. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, you going too far with me. Don't get lashed, because I can give a good tongue lashing, but I can also cry too at the same time, because I'm like, I'm disappointed in you. They think I'm crying because they hurt my feelings. No, I'm disappointed in you right now. Because I didn't do nothing wrong to you for you to come at me like that. And Zero be checking on me like, girl, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I'm over it. I don't even know their name.
I don't.
I don't even know who these people are. I don't care. After a day, I'm over it. I'm like, that was just getting on my nerves, but pulling up my blood pressure. I'm like, Now I need to
Well,
go put a cold compress up on my forehead.
well, I mean, as far as me, like as far as dealing with people who like really annoy me, like if it's like if I got like I'm at work or something like that, I can't, it's kind of hard to avoid them. But like real life, like somebody I don't like dealing with, unless I have to be somewhere. I mean, I don't even necessarily have to deal with them. But even someone get on my nerves, like they get on my nerves till I leave, and after that, when I get home, I'm not even thinking about you. He's like, oh, okay, because I don't have to
But
deal. I'm not dealing with you now.
you know what they do though? Afterwards, they come watch my channel, trying to see if I'm gonna talk about them, and I'm like, I'm not even thinking about you. Leave me
Right.
alone. I go and sing a
Yeah,
song, and they're like, "Oh, she's boring." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know you like
yeah,
that."
yeah. I know. Yeah, I know. I know. Like there was like this one, and I think I mentioned this. Mentioned before. Like it was like one dude who was like who I mean who got upset with me because I didn't say hi to him in the chat, and I guess like he was upset to have women come into my chat or something like that, and for a reason it just like it just sounded like you did like two back to back lives
You got
talking
butt
about
hurt.
me, and I was just like I don't even know you, dude, and I and like the only reason I even knew he did it was because somebody told me that he did it. I was subscribed to, so I wouldn't have known if no one had told me. And
Right.
I guess I kind of glad I kind of did because after when I looked at that live, I was just like, look. I mean, I kind of heard some of it. I kind of laughed at it because I'm like, okay, you're you're doing all this extra stuff, and I know like everything you're saying is not true. But I'm like, okay, cool. You know,
Yeah, someone else
I mean,
alive.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was just like it was stupid. So I was like, okay, well, it seemed like this dude might cause some trouble on my channel, so I just blocked him and anybody that I seen in the chat that was supporting it. So so I wouldn't have to deal with it. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna block all of them. So I ain't
Yeah,
gotta
and they have the
I ain't gotta
same
worry about them
mentality.
coming down.
Yeah. They got the same mentality, because and then someone who was another friend was looking out for me and was like, you getting them people jealous. And I said, they're gonna be jealous anyways. What the I can't help that. They look at me and they can't be me, so they what can I do about it? Be better than yourself and act accordingly.
I don't even worry about people that try to that like want to be jealous or something or whatever. I'm like, oh, you're jealous of me. And, I gotta ask why.
You know what? I know why, but I'm just not gonna rub it in their face. I'm just gonna be like, oh, look at this kid. Oh, they ain't
I
grown.
mean,
They're the ones who ain't grown spiritually, for real. I'd be like, oh, look at
yeah,
this. They don't know they're gonna go somewhere they don't want to end up when they go somewhere. I don't know what the afterlife is gonna be like. I didn't look back, but I'm saying, hmm,
yeah.
they're
If I had to tell you guess like what the afterlife's gonna be, but like I would probably say it'll probably be you'll probably just be reincarnated because that sounds like the most
you know
logical
what? I hear
explanation
that.
because like if we just have one life, that doesn't make sense for us to come to Earth just to die. Just doesn't
I've been
it
here
doesn't logically
before.
make sense. It just doesn't
I,
logically make sense.
you know what? And I know I've been here before. I have like past life dreams, and I've met people where I'm like, I know you. Why? Like, I've never met you, but I know you.
Well, maybe that, and then on top of that, everyone is connected, no matter how much you don't want to deal with the
Right.
person. If people we don't like, we everybody's connected.
Hmm. So that's why I'm like, wow, this person is upset at me for some reason. Like you said, Rob, some people are just upset for some reason. Maybe it's a past life thing. Maybe it's something,
Yeah,
to
you never
accomplish.
know. But
You
I'm gonna
never
look
know.
at, I'm put up a comment like Miss Floro said, and I absolutely agree. Like like family can be people's worst
Oh
enemy, especially
yes.
especially
Yes.
blood related people. And I think I've like cut off most of my daddy's side of the family just because like how they treated me and the fun thing about it was my grandmother that kind of started off. Maybe she started off, but it's just like the fact that they were so quick to believe what she said. But
Mm.
okay, you quick to believe
Sometimes,
that, but I was like, I was like, okay, yeah, y'all quick to believe that. So that meant like somewhere deep down, you always felt that way, and and
sometimes
that was the
it's.
perfect excuse. Yeah,
Hmm?
I was say, and her saying that was the perfect excuse.
Oh, they always got excuses. But the thing is, sometimes it's even a good family member that you gotta distance yourself from because they let bad people around them that you can't handle seeing them getting hurt. You keep
Oh
telling them like
yeah,
you can't tell them nothing, right? But I'm like, are you sure you should be trusting that person, or are you sure like
well,
I don't want to? I don't want
yeah,
to get caught up. And then
yeah.
you're the
I'm a
first person they call when they need you, and I'm like, I'm not doing this no more. I done told you that person wasn't good for you. What
yeah,
what else do you want me to do?
that's one of those family members like misguided. They want to see the best in those
In
people. Even when
everyone.
not just anyone, but just like maybe just because they're
Looking for
family,
love.
and yeah, but maybe because because they get our family. Like, oh yeah, that's our family. We should stick together. And sometimes you gotta cut people off. You
Yeah,
know,
and I
uh,
be looking at them like, oh my gosh, I want to be there for you. I would love you, but you're a sweetheart. But my goodness, you are hard headed. Like I gotta step away from this because then I'm gonna get caught up trying to save your life.
yeah.
You know?
It's just like they misguided, and like usually family members like that are like the ones that will get used the most, and they probably have their life ruined by these particular family members before they realize that they should have just cut them off to begin with, or it's getting close to that point, and then they just been fed up and just let them did what they always should have done was cut them off.
Now, do you think gurus are a form of pimping?
I mean, no, 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 I mean, it's just, no, I
You
mean,
gotta
like,
think about it. Come
what,
on.
I mean, the think about it, like guru look at spiritual teacher, so he's supposed
Sometimes
to like,
they, sometimes
let me,
they.
let me finish it, but, I was like, but like guru's supposed to be a spiritual teacher, like the real gurus, like you don't really see them, acting, all like they usually quiet and reserved now, like the real ones. Now the ones that are pretending, they be on some other stuff. They be doing some wild stuff, but like you said, like real like the real deal gurus, they don't be doing none of that. You can't you can't drag guru to a club or nothing 'cause they ain't gonna want to go. That ain't gonna interest them.
It is a club when you think about it, though.
No, 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 it's not.
Membership only. You gotta pay.
No,
You gotta pay
no,
money to.
not real gurus. Now, let let let's not mix the real with the fake.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm trying to trying to focus on we're gonna talk about fake, but if you try to say like all of them in it, now all of them ain't in that.
No, not all of them. No, no, no.
Yeah,
Some gurus are
um,
actually helpers. They are actually
yeah, I mean
the
I'm talking
leaders.
I'm talking about the real ones actually do. Now I already talked about the fake ones, so we already got that down. So I mean, it ain't what they doing got nothing to do with being a guru, just like what they were already doing to begin with.
True
There's
that.
this Pharaoh's quote. It says, it's a picture of Anubis. It says, "You must not fight too often with one enemy, or you will teach him all your art of war." What do you guys think about that?
It
Well,
depends on how you fight.
I guess it could if you always constantly fight them, because if you always have an enemy you're fighting against, like it's like almost like you're building a relationship with each other, even though it's based on hate. You'll learn from you'll learn from one another. Everything about that person if y'all fight enough. But
Hmm.
I don't really focus on really having enemies or anything like that. But I don't but I just keep like the people who are cool around me. And anybody that ain't, like, I'm not gonna deal with you. It's like, the whole thing of, just having enemies or whatever. I just have people I don't really deal with, and I have people I'm cool with, and those I'm not dealing with, I don't, I'm not trying to entertain them. And if I can keep them away from me, I just keep them away from me. And if I,
True. True. Yeah.
uh, but I mean, it's just like how other people deal with. That's how I deal with it. Cause like, I mean, I don't really care too much somebody, come up space, being disrespectful because I already kind of like not, I already keep people, I already have like a super small circle anyway. So it's like, I don't, it's like, if I don't consider you close, something like that, you're not getting in the circle. So it's like, yeah, you're going to be outside in the cold, trying to see what's happening, but you ain't going to know. Matter
Right.
of, matter of fact, you ain't going to know there's a circle.
Right. That part.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
now we know there's some people that are real spiritual and some people that are not. And we gotta learn the
yeah.
difference. And all you gotta do is have faith and learn from your intuition. Learn to really like if you feel like something's wrong from the get go with that. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and kind of funny. Like like I said, like when I had that last conversation with y'all, I was like, Long Neutral gave me a good topic, and this was the topic. I forgot what you were talking about. But I was like, I said, you had me think about like the fake spiritual teachers. Like, oh yeah, I remember
Wow.
what it was you said, but you gave that idea.
I'm glad you had that idea because it's just like, right on time. Like I had seen this quote because I would look up like Egyptian quotes when I don't know what's going on with the library now. I can't go check out the Egyptian Book of the Dead and read the spells in there. But I had came across that quote and I'm like, whoa, it kind of took me back. And I was like, all this time, I was wondering, why do people always want to fight me? Like growing up, I stayed to myself. I would be in my own world. I play Barbies by myself in one room. Like my mom said, she could put me in one room and I would just be fine. And people would always spy on me, crack the door. They wouldn't play with me, but they would always watch me. Like, and I grew up and people, still, do that. And I would just be like, why do people always gotta say something to me? Like, why they always be wanting to fight me? And then like, especially men. And then they will always bring their sidekick. All of them always bring their sidekick and
Oh
double.
yeah.
And I'd be like, why they keep on bringing their side? It's like a repeated pattern. And I heard someone say, like, if you don't learn your lesson, it'll like repeat. So I feel like also it's an opportunity. The universe say, bam, I have given you this again, the same situation that happened with, your first baby daddy and the sidekick. What are you gonna do now? She's in, the household every day. What you gonna do now? You can't break no windows. You can't put your hands on him. You can't fight in front of. What are you gonna do? I mean, you could take a couple of lives. You know what I'm saying? You could, but you already know where that's gonna lead you. So what are you gonna? So where do you? Here's your opportunity to like repay. That karma. You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna add karma to it? Are you gonna cancel the karma out? Like this one quote. I was scrolling on Trina's Instagrams. My intuition just told me go to Trina. I don't know why. And she had a quote that said something about like when people cross her, she don't cross them back. She crossed them out.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. As they should. And then I had
And
some
you,
other.
the
I,
quiet
had- I
treatment works. You know, they all of a
Mhm.
sudden sometimes they'll come back and apologize for the stuff that they did, and you like, well, it's all forgiven, but you ain't gonna be in my world no more. Like, I
Okay.
don't know about you no
uh,
more. You did me wrong from the get go. I don't know. I
yeah. I
might
mean,
return to your
yeah,
patterns.
yeah. And I think like me, like I think like when I was in school, especially when I was young, I used to be short, and like when I was short, like like the kids used to be taller than me. They thought like, oh yeah, we can pick on him because he's shorter than us. I'm like, they ain't know I had them hands. So I mean, I think I spent most time fighting people till think like until like I got growth spurt. Not, I mean, it happens much in high school, but I think like probably after that, I think like I just kind of built up some kind of powerful aura or something like that. Because like people usually don't. People really most time don't really want to mess with me. I mean, unless they feel like they know me or something like that, and then they want to see if they try me or something like that.
Yeah, they want to act
And
tough.
yeah,
Hmm.
and I think like if and sometimes I let stuff go, thinking that oh yeah, just it's little stuff, but then they keep on doing them. Like okay, now you get on my nerves because and especially somebody who's like really annoying because like it's really hard to get me mad. It's it is really hard.
Yeah.
Now when I was younger, yeah, I was like a real high head. You say so crazy to me, I'm ready to fight. at the drop of a hat, I'm ready to throw hands. But now I'm not even I don't even really get don't even really get mad like easy. So if, like someone makes me mad easily, that means you were so disrespectful that I couldn't even keep my calm. You were that much of an irritant. to me that now you have,
I'm yeah,
brought me out of my normal character. So I'm like, okay, so
right.
you really want to do this?
That's the word I use is, oh, you pulling me out of my character, because you know what, I don't fight in public like that. I really don't, because I like you, I'm just gonna walk away from the situation because I'm like, whatever, we ain't doing this because
Well,
I don't want to be.
I don't necessarily walk away from situations unless I have to, but if it's like
But oh well,
it depends on how disrespectful it get. If it ain't nothing too disrespectful, I'll walk away. But I'm not gonna, sometimes I won't let it. If it's been done more than once, I'm not gonna let it slide. I'm gonna address it.
mm,
And if and the person feel like they want to fight, I'm like, okay, well, do what you gotta do. I am ready. But if not, then
for
need to
me, I just
go about your business.
I will disappear on somebody, and they be like, "Where'd she go?" Yeah, You miss me. You
Cause
miss me.
because I had like this one coworker. He's like so annoying. Pretty much. That's not one coworker there that has not wanted to fight him, and one of them actually fought him and whooped him. There's videotape. I've seen it. As a matter of fact, I have
Oh well,
it.
okay.
Where like pretty much he was talking about stuff. I guess he would met somebody and like instead of like fighting the work they had a spot like by the train tracks. So you want to go fight. There's like a spot over there. So go by the train tracks. You handle your business. And I guess like when he took off his shirt or whatever, and he thought he was going. He had a button-up shirt, so he had two shirts on. But I guess he thought he was going to just do this dude in. And when he was getting ready to fight, him, come on. The dude hit him so hard he fell to the side on the ground. Everybody laughing. He was hard. Now he doing like the windmill punch, like you see like the kids doing with his head down. And pretty much, he would, they were fighting and he was
Hmm.
trying to, wrestle and all that. So he was already, already lost that one. And what I heard from that coworker when I heard about it, because I remember hearing about the fight, but I didn't know there was a tape until like my coworkers said. Other coworkers told me, like, yeah, I seen the tape. I said, hold up, there's tape, there's footage. I got to see this at break, and I said, and after and when we got a break, I said, let me go get some food and a tasty beverage, so I can enjoy this beautiful bean footage. So, so I bought some food. I came back there. I was like, okay, I got my food and my tasty beverage. I'm ready to see the tape. And I think I laughed, and I think it was like other coworkers that hadn't seen either, and we were just man, we were all sitting there laughing. I think we sit there laughed and joked for like the rest of lunch break. It was
They don't even know what they're fighting about, huh?
no. We know. No. I mean the guy that one of the guys that were in fighting. Like yeah, he very clear remember like why he fought because it was like the other dude who was starting stuff and I guess he thought because he already know like people not gonna fight him at work so because they want to keep their jobs but once you get out the train tracks it's a whole different thing. But remember him remember that dude told me so like after it happened I think he showed he showed everybody else showed like the plant manager, all that, they just laughed. They just laughed at it. They just laughed at it. I mean, I
Well,
mean, I, even though it, it's like you would think you probably get fired, but it wasn't on company property, so you
that's
know.
like a spiritual warfare happening too. When you think about it, now you bring spiritualism into it. This is a competition.
Thing on spirituality. Spirituality is fact is everything. So anything can be can be spiritual. It might not be. It may not. You know
And
whether or not it
yeah,
helps or
but
not.
you seen
That's
people
all.
who are like, I'm like, what happened? What took over your mindset? Because you see people going like cray cray. You like, and then sometimes they're not even like high. They just broke down. Like I'm like, what happened? I'm like, is that so and so? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And they'd be like, JJ. I'm like, no, I don't know you.
I mean, when you, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, that was me, trade trades. I would show up, but I'm like, nah, I ain't going to do
Yeah,
that.
let me work with
I don't
you.
even, I don't even know if like anybody at work would actually, see that one day, be like, oh yeah, I remember this. I mean, even though everybody else did, does see it, but because like I remember,
The drink drive.
yeah, I think I remember hearing my coworkers like a couple days ago, dude was over there talking to him. He's like, "Hey, you better stop before we make another movie." He said, "What you mean? You know what I mean?" I
uh,
was like,
I had coworkers where I was all like, um, can you put me in a different like? I don't want to be with them around. I don't want them around me. They are a liability, and my
"Yeah, yeah, I
boss
mean,
was like,
yeah,
"What are you
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?" I'm like, "How did you
yeah,
interview her?"
yeah." I mean, it's like thinking about it. Like, if you're able to move away from a coworker, that's cool. But it'd be like some situations where
Sometimes you gotta be around.
wait, yeah, yeah. I remember my last job had to be around one particular coworker because and like this dude tried to this dude was just like straight hate. Like I mean, I think this I mean this dude even tried to get me fired. Like he tried to act like he didn't. But I already knew it wasn't gonna happen because I remember one time his friend tried to get me fired and like the owner just sat both of us down and just had us talk it out. And then they told it after we talked it out, everything like that. He said, "Hey, I don't want to hear nothing else about it. Let's get back to work." And that was the end of it. He couldn't do nothing about it because told me you want to hear about it no more. So he said, "Hey, this is it. I don't want to hear about it." I mean, cause like think about that. His friend was had been trying to get me fired like for like I don't know, maybe like for like a few weeks, and I'm just like, man, I was like, this is crazy. I'm like, I was actually getting prepared, like just in case they actually, took his side or whatever. And I remember I was talking to other people, other friends about it, telling them about it. Say, oh yeah, so he gonna believe him. Also, because he gonna believe because he been working that long. I said, no, I worked that long. Him. He said, what?
You ever
You
had? Because you spend a lot of time at work. Well, now I work for myself, but the thing is, I
I don't spend as much time at work like I used to, but I mean, it just depends on like how long. Sometimes days be short work, and sometimes it be longer. It just depends on what's happening,
but
and
you ever
supervisors gonna be able to BS. Yeah.
You ever spend like years at a job and then the person that didn't like you in the beginning start being wanting to become your like all of a sudden they're your biggest fan because they just had trust issues and you're like, man, this whole time I thought you were mean. All of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, I just didn't know how to come at you because you were just weird, you're different. And I'm like, oh. And then y'all go to happy hour together and they're like, I love you so much. I'm like, I love you too.
No.
They're like, oh my gosh, I thought you were gonna be like some bougie chick who's gonna be like weird and stuff. She says, you're still weird, but hey, I like it. I'm like, girl, why did you prejudge me? And like, I thought you were gonna do this and then I'm like, oh no, 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 no. She's like, now that I know you after 2 years, it's like 2 years we was giving each other the evil eye. every time every time she was around me, I'd be like, she used to be like, what does that mean? I'm like, "But mind your business. Here, don't you have paperwork to do here? Have something to do. You need to preoccupy yourself."
See this. This is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't have nice things.
You know? And then one day she snapped out of it. One day she was like, "Oh my gosh, you never," because she never heard me talk about her. She never heard nothing mean, that I have to say. I was just like, when people would be like, "What do you think about such and such?" I'd be like, "She cool, whatever. She works here." What do I have to say? I don't know. I don't live with her.
Yeah,
All I
yeah.
know, she has a cat there, and then she's all like, "You remember about my cat?" Because her cat had passed away, and she pulled me to the meeting room, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" She cried, and she was like, "Yeah." And then so we went outside and had like a little. This is back when I was having cigarettes. We went outside and we had like a little smoke session, and when she was crying about her cat. And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know you was upset about that." I said, "I own, pets too and stuff." And so we kind of bonded on that. And then she was the sweetest person, but she had her outside exterior was hard. I was like, "Girl, you gotta soften up." She always was mean mugging. But turns out she was a nice lady. But she was just, I don't know, she just didn't trust nobody.
I mean, some people just look like serious looking face. I do that sometimes. Like I look like I'm me mugging, and I just don't be feeling no kind of way. Just people think I'm angry. Like yeah, I think that might be like what that might part of the reason why people would just like not avoid starting up me if they can.
Yeah, they back away and they're like, and then they find out they're like, "You funny." I'm like, "I know. I tried to tell you, but you wasn't listening."
Well, no, I mean I got hands too, but just like
I know
I
you're
don't know
funny.
you.
I know you're exactly. Oh, we
Yeah,
be cracking jokes. I'm like, man, laughter is a good thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
All
because
right,
I used
so
to be serious too. Okay, we're gonna head off.
no, not yet. Long the truck. Come on over there on the phone.
Is
No,
she
I
looking
was
up
just looking at.
quotes?
I was looking at these quotes. They good. You know, it's about disrespect and like boundaries and like the how like the lack of boundaries invites disrespect, how being friendly and being too nice, it's like, have you ever noticed that being too nice or being too friendly invites like the disrespect or
Yeah, yeah,
the lack
yeah,
of
yeah.
respect,
You gotta set
like,
boundaries because
and
people just do whatever because like you gotta draw a line where you can say, hey, I'm not gonna allow this, and if you keep doing this, I'm not gonna deal with you, or some ways gonna be some consequences.
Well, when I'm
Pretty much.
when I'm
right.
professional, yeah, I do put on a professional face on. I put on my suit. You got to look the part, right? But then when I'm around,
Mhm.
even with coworkers, I make them laugh and everything. But there's a time and place. And so yes, I've gotten that online where people are disrespectful because they took my kindness for weakness, and when I snap, they go, "Oh, we shouldn't have done that." I'm like, "Uh-huh." And who you think you're talking to? you know but I find that helps me out it's not a weakness to me because that helps me out to divide who I should let in and who I shouldn't. Because if I put on the mean mug stuff and then they think I'm in their corner and they're hyping me up to be mean, I'm like, I don't need that. Nah. Because they just want me to be unhappy all the time. No, I'm gonna do me.
Mm.
I feel good doing me. And if you can't handle that, then that's on you. Go find your crew.
Right. There's this quote says, pay attention when people react with anger and hostility to your
Oh yeah.
boundaries. You have found the edge where their respect for you ends. And then this one says, when someone oversteps your boundaries, they're letting you know what you wanted doesn't matter and what someone else wanted did. The edge of disrespect happens when someone else's feelings are chosen over yours. And I felt like that's what happened last week. And this week I had a boundary, and I told dude what my boundary was, and then his sidekick reacted with anger and hostility to my boundary.
The
It's
karmic.
like, I don't
Yeah.
care about your feelings. I only care about my feelings. You know what I'm saying? And there was no respect when she overstepped my boundaries. But then
Yeah.
after she acted with anger and hostility to a boundary I just laid down, she reacted that way. They got mad when she got disrespected.
Hmm.
But you don't. I just gave you a boundary and you reacted with anger and hostility to my boundaries. So
Yeah.
that means
Yeah.
that you just crossed the line of there's no respect for my feelings and you want me to respect yours. And then still coming over here every day talking about how do you feel? How are you? You don't know me. Why do you keep talking to me?
Right.
Why do you care about how do I feel? Go ask how your daughter feels.
You know,
You
and
don't have
that's
nobody to talk to. You don't have a psychiatrist. Your man is right there. Why do you keep talking to me? You don't know me. I don't get it. You are a whole stranger. Why are you speaking to me? She comes over here and she keeps on disrespecting my boundaries. I asked her, can you just please don't say nothing to me? And she made sure every time she come over here, she got to say something. And she's 47 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come over here just to overstep somebody's boundaries.
Yeah.
they do
Yeah.
that a
I'm not-
lot. They do
Yeah.
that a lot to nice people.
I'm not nice though. The reason why that's what I'm not a nice person. I've been charged with 4 felonies. I've been to jail about 3 times. You know what I'm saying? For vandalism, spousal abuse, battery assault to the neighbor, you know what I'm saying? And then not to mention the stuff I ain't never got caught for. I'm not a nice person. I just ain't trying to go back to jail.
Well, I'm not a saint neither, but the thing is, ain't nobody no saint, right?
Well, I mean,
The thing,
if you actually take like the real being of a saint don't mean like somebody who don't do wrong. Saints could be somebody who killed a whole bunch of people and they're
exactly,
sainted.
exactly. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, and my father is a minister and all of that. Now, he's the best person I know. But at the same time, I'm going like, when you said something about the boundaries part, is just because then they'll try to coerce you into doing certain things. You're like, what? Who are you like, who are you? I keep asking this question. Who are you dealing with sometimes? Like, who do you think I am? I'm not. No, 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 you don't approach me like that. So I have to put my foot down, where I'm like, hey. And then they send their little minions to try and correct you when they need correcting. I'm like, okay, so you coming over here with what? Bright pink lipstick, fake lashes, fake hair, talking all kind of crazy to me, you know? And I'm going like, girl, I'm all natural. Don't even play me like that. Cause I will check every part of you and tell you about your man and what your man tried to ask from me. But then I'm like, look, I'm not even trying to break your little relationship, so I'm gonna just let it go. Goodbye. Check your man. Don't check me. Check your man. Cause I believe a week ago he was like asking for pictures.
It sounds like it's a wait somewhere else.
And Shanti, hold on, wait, skirt though.
Tell him about
Like, where this come from?
It's juicy right now though.
You know, because she cracked into his DM or whatever, and now she want to get in my face about some stuff. I'm like, did you see any pictures? No, you didn't. So stop. Ain't nobody trying to feed nobody else's ego.
All right, let's get back on track.
Just so they can go about their merry way and be like and show their friends, I'm good. What the heck?
I like
think I
when
met
go ahead.
yeah. I think me and Long Dutra had a conversation about like people wanting to show pictures and all that. I was like, 'cause I don't see I never seen the point in doing that. It's like, oh yeah, like,
Yeah, for the right type
you
of
know,
person, yeah.
well,
Do it.
hold
We're
on,
adults.
well, I mean, I'm finished. Wait, I
Okay.
was just like, I was like saying that I said, I don't get why they show pictures like that, because like if like let's say someone, let's say you're a guy and a girl showed you a picture that was supposed to be just for you, and then you go up and show it other people. It's like,
That's me.
why yeah, yeah. I was like thinking, what's the point of doing that? Because like it's like not only disrespecting, like, her, but that's disrespecting the whole relationship. That means like, oh yeah, you don't really care. You like, oh, I'm gonna tell all my business. It's like, what's
It's
the
not
point of
even
that?
that. Now
Like,
they're gonna want you.
I mean,
Now Prince is gonna want you.
it's not about that, but it's about I mean, it's about like the respect for the person, and like you're trying to show out what to get a ego boost and get validation from your friends, like that. I mean, that ain't. I mean, they ain't gonna really care too much about it. Yeah, they'll like, oh, wow, look at this and look at that, but they don't really. They ain't really, too concerned about it. Matter of fact, that look, I mean, that actually come off as looking kind of lame, because I remember seeing some YouTubers kind of talked about it too. It's like, oh yeah, yeah, that is pretty lame, because it's like, I mean, why would you, just give take something private and show it publicly? Matter of fact, now that like wrong, like ethically, that's actually illegal. You know,
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, good,
it's just
because a girl can actually
shoot.
could actually, sue you or have you arrested for
Arrested
doing
for
that.
that.
Yeah, I mean, and vice versa. But and it's just like, it's like whatever the relationship should be between y'all, like as far as like the intimate details and all that, because it ain't nobody business but y'all. So it's like,
But
I
people
don't.
do that kind of stuff, and you hear about it all the time where they like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, seriously, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. So you're gonna go around and say, well, I seen such and such, or I heard such and such got together. So what? That's their business. They're adults. Let them be.
Yeah, yeah.
They ain't hurting nobody. That's
Yeah.
their business. They're
I
having a
mean, I mean,
baby.
yeah. I've heard people doing it, and it was like, from like somebody who wasn't really in a relationship with a person, but was talking to the person, and the person sent them some pictures, and they showed them to other people. I mean, of
Everybody.
course, no, not everybody. He showed them certain people, and of course, he ain't showing me because he already knew how I was gonna feel about it.
Yeah. Well,
So, so
and people make mistakes, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not playing that game with you. You want to do that? Shoot, shoot, don't make me talk about you.
yeah, but yeah, let's get back. All right, let's go and rain back in the top. We're gonna pull it back in. So okay.
Okay.
New Charles, so that sounds like you had something to say.
Okay. Oh, where'd it go? Okay. Okay, it says the benefits of setting healthy boundaries. More compassion, greater assertiveness, your needs are met, less anger and resentment, feeling of peace and safety. Hold on, Papa. Time and energy to do things that nourish and bring joy to your body, mind, and spirit, feeling respected by yourself and other, less conflict in relationships, improved communication, greater self-esteem, less anxiety and stress, increased confidence, feeling understood and accepted by friends and families. And then there's one thing right here. It says the invisible line, boundaries. I allow myself to set healthy boundaries, to say no to what does not align with my values, to say yes to what does. Boundaries assist me to remain healthy, honest, and living a life that is true to me. I'll be right
Yeah.
back.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. To that point, yeah, like boundaries are a healthy way to it's good for your health. Like it's a way of keeping you sane because you guys have people respecting you, even if you was you don't go insane or something like that, it could those people can drive you
Yeah,
crazy,
they use
because they keep crossing that line, yeah. And
hmm
and like now like crossing the line, but it's like now do it and you say something like fine, but if you ain't put no boundaries there and you already had a line, but they didn't know and they keep crossing it, it's like you're gonna keep being upset about it. And even after you done drawn it, it's like it's kinda like, if you let it go too long, they gonna get used to it. So you kinda have to try to get in as early as you can. But even if you get it late, it's like
yeah,
you gotta stay strong with it once you said it because if you go off and not and like go back on what your boundaries are, then they're gonna be like, oh well, we can keep crossing anytime we want to. They're not gonna take it seriously. So
right, right. And that's the thing because they will repeat themselves, and it's never too late to set boundaries where you're like, I'm not tolerating it no more, and it's up to that person to be like, okay, well, I'm either gonna comply or I'm gonna give up on this, and so you tend to see what the latter is. Is it good or is it bad? I mean, like, did you even care from the get go about my feelings, about my situation? Did you ever put yourself in my shoes to think like maybe I really shouldn't, maybe this is affecting this person? And they don't think like that sometimes. They just think for themselves and they go, oh, I'm gonna teach you a lesson because I'm not getting my way. They act like like brats, and they go around having adult tantrums. And I'm like, what is going on here? Oh,
yeah,
cause I said no? Okay. Or I
yeah.
just decided not to answer because I'm like, I'm done. I can't tolerate you right now.
You
You
know, you know
know?
the fun thing. You know the fun thing about that, like talking about people out of tantrums. I seen a lot more people in their 40s and 50s act like children, and
Hmm.
I'm just like,
That's a midlife crisis.
I'm just like, why are y'all acting like children? Y'all should be the ones that have more sense than people in their 30s or their 20s. Like, I mean, I see
They
people in their
having
30s and 20s that have more sense.
they got
And,
midlife crisis
I mean, I
happening.
mean, I mean, I mean, 40 ain't even midlife, so they shouldn't even be having no midlife crisis. He just like, it's just I mean, they want to be kids. I'm like, well, it's like, it's a way of like having fun and still, kind of, being adult at the same time. But it's like they don't they just want to be children now. It's like, well, you can't be that. It's too late.
Well,
You
this
know.
is why, with me, when you talk about spiritualism and spirituality, with me, I took adventures. I went and I traveled. You know, I feel it in sand. Between my toes, the ocean, all that. I go swimming. I like engaging with conversation with others and my art. That's my spiritual side, and I meditate. I sit there and I stay in my calmness. I read a book. But then other people, they just stay stuck. I'll be like, whoa, you are lazy.
And I'm saying something Miss Forley put up here. Huh? I didn't. I mean, well, I mean, like I haven't seen like two, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, but I mean that's
That's
possible.
Yeah, well, with old age, they just don't have no filter after a while. Some
I think some people use old age as like a reason to say whatever. But I'm like, I have respect for my elders, but I'm not about to let you just disrespect me just because you feel like because you old, you can just say whatever you want. Now you can't say whatever you want.
Yeah,
Um,
you're supposed to speak wisdom, not hurt people. Yeah.
it's one thing like say you certain stuff, but if you just be disrespectful, like old age ain't no excuse to be disrespectful.
Exactly. They ain't never learned. Hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, what's on your mind, Lachlan?
Okay, I found another good one. Now it goes back to the narcissist. Okay, this one say it's talking about the power play of an adult bully, right? Because you're dealing with an adult bully. I could tell that this person, never matured. You know what I'm saying? Because they acting like some little girl on a high school playground and thinking that they could play with somebody. And I'm on some sacrifice, I'm on some blood stuff. So it's a narcissist thrive on drama and dividing others. They use an innocent victim, which would be my son, to bully and then have to use a lot of smoke to hide their misdeeds. That trying to be nice. Oh, hi, how you doing? Hi, right? They try to blame everything on their intended target, which would be me. Then they try to make everyone else believe that everything would be a lot better off. That would be the baby daddy. If the target person
Yeah, that's what you would
Their
call
static.
gaslight.
would vanish, everything would be a lot better off if the target person would vanish or not be in the picture at all. So I felt like, you know, for me, I felt like, hold on, that's my Alexa.
Why you wait with this coming up with the flaws? I don't care how they are. Respect a two-way street. There's some childish, narcissistic old folks out here big as hell to these folks. And this come from elders.
Yeah, narcissistic behavior is it's kind of like they really suck the energy out of you for real. Like, cause they will be nice to you one day and be cruel to you the next, and then turn around, but not put no hands on you or call you no names. They just are just they manipulate you to the sense of having others think the worst of you, and it's not that they want to see you leave. They won't. It's like that syndrome of if I can't have you, no one else can.
Well, yeah, I mean, narcissists only there to use you. So once you leave it, like they don't really care about you, but they don't want you to go because they want to keep using you. But since you won't allow them to be used, then they get upset about it.
Yeah,
Because
because they see you as an object. They see you as like
well, I mean, not just object, but a means to an end.
you right, right. But also that's effective because it's like, they've got wives and they're very materialistic. Most of them are. And they see you as like very like, okay, you're just like while you might be the one that they really like or love or whatever, so they show you a little bit more affection, but they're out there seeing everybody else.
Yeah.
You're like, where are these movie tickets coming from? I don't remember going to see that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, I was like, oh, no, you wasn't. Like I'm stupid. I don't even gotta go through your phone to see what you're doing. Like, but you think I'm that dumb because I play it smart. I sit there and I watch. I just be like, oh, for real, for real, for real. You just came out of nowhere. Like, you just not gonna call. You just not gonna You just gonna sneak up on me just to see if I'm doing something. They always want to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
They steady you like super hard, and then you're like, and then they think they're getting
Well,
away
I
with
mean,
something.
I mean, anybody that's like trying too hard to try to figure out what I'm doing, I'm immediately shut them down. I'm automatically on guard because I'm like, what you need to know this and this for, and I mean, it kind of make people upset about it because I don't let them try to figure me out, and it's like, and they get mad because like they can't figure them out, so we don't know how to respond to them. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
And
yeah,
and
you're not supposed to. I mean,
I have a
let you.
few a
I
few
mean,
of them in my family, and I did a few where it bothered them that they couldn't understand me because I would just up and
but
leave. And then they were
but
like,
yeah,
where'd she go? And they're
but yeah,
searching
yeah,
for me.
yeah, but for me, like they were like try to understand me. I'm like, yeah, you can't understand me because you're trying to figure me out. But those who are as cool as me, actually know me a little bit better, But of course, they don't know everything, but they know more than you do about me because they actually were cool with me. They weren't trying to get in my business,
They
but
also, you know what, they get
but
jealous of
because
you.
well, I mean, well, not even that. They just, I think a lot of people, and I think that maybe about like another reason why a lot of people are, I've heard people tell me like that, like people are kind of afraid of me. And I think because they don't know what to think about me. So I guess like that mystery kind of sets in with like fear, even though I have not really acted aggressively towards them or anything like that.
They're
I
just
just
not
know,
knowing what you're capable of. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That fear of the unknown
Yeah. Because
more
they asked
so.
me, they go, are you crazy? And I said, I'm the good kind of crazy. You want to watch?
I
They're
mean, you
like,
kind
what?
of you almost everything about that joke quote. And it was like saying like he's like saying like sometimes like the devil be like, what the f are you doing?
Exactly.
I was I was like, yeah, that describes Joker perfectly. I'm pretty sure.
I'd be like, I can play with you all day. Like we can talk about this. And then I'm gonna turn you into a good person. I can try. Let me say it that way. I can try.
Oh, I
You
mean, I
either
mean, I
gonna
mean,
give up or you're gonna be like, let me leave her alone. Let me leave her
what I
alone.
mean,
Or
what I mean, think about it. I mean, you can't change somebody who don't want to be changed. I mean, you can. I mean, it's like the best way of even making a change, like change yourself within, and everything else around you will change.
Well, yeah, but they start seeing it from a different perspective because all I make them do is laugh, and they don't laugh often. Those kind of people don't usually laugh, and so when when they're like, "Oh man, what happened here?" Like they like, "She's different." I'm like, "Mm-hmm." Tried to tell you.
Yeah, miss, for all that they are, a lot of them are. Yeah,
Yes, Sarah. A lot
uh,
of them are narcs. They're
yeah.
very like into them, like very
Well, I mean, thing about it is like they are a lot of them are narcs because a lot of them, lot of them feed off attention, and if they're like a spiritual leader, they'll get all the attention that they want because people are looking to them for answers. So, like, if they have answers or perceive to have the answers, people are going to want to be around them all the time, or want all your attention. Like, that I mean that's just gonna come with it.
but
And
they're
these narcissists are gonna get off on it. They're gonna feed off of that. So yeah,
I
so
did
yeah, that
this I did this on a panel where I heard this one kid and he's a little narc, right? And then he sits there and he repeats the same, like he has a script. So I repeated every word he at the same time and people were like, "Oh crap, he's been giving us crap the whole time." I'm like, "Yeah, he's got a he's got a whole script ready." They're not even thinking for
talking
themselves.
about like with like with the call center, like yeah, oh yeah, I'm so and this is what I'm gonna do. This is my script, yeah, oh yeah, how about
Yeah. And I said it word for word, and somebody was all like, "Oh, you caught that?" I'm like, "Yep." Because they sit there and repeat the same, like they're not speaking off the top of their heads. They're just repeating a script that they repeat over and over to get you hypnotized. It's like
one
singing, it gets people
one minute one
hypnotized.
one minute it's not necessarily hypnotizing. It's like it's doctrine, so it's like kind of like creating that programming within you. Like if you keep feeding it to them, they kind of start taking on the talking points of whoever is giving them this doctrines. So I mean it's really a program. They're just spreading what they have been put in their heads like so many times, so much so that they start repeating their talking points. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not hypnosis, but it is very deep programming.
Mm. Well, it's like the guy, okay, say he cheats on you or he did something bad, right? But he comes home with flowers and some jewelry, and you're like, "What?" Of course, a woman's gonna be like, googly eyes and, "Oh, he loves me." No, he don't. Not that much. He loves you to a point. You just look good.
One minute. I think like to a certain extent, like love is conditional to a certain point. Like I think like people will have their have their limits on where their love ends. Now some people may have bigger limits. Some people may have like shorter limits, but there's always usually limits. Like like people would say we have unconditional love. I ain't seen that. I mean, you come with some conditions like, yeah, you do this,
No,
yeah,
love always
that
comes
love,
with condition.
yeah,
Even from your children, there's a condition to it. Like, hey, I love you, but there's certain things I'm not gonna be good about.
yeah,
And that's when the boundaries also steps in, with everybody in your life. And then there's certain different people you have to set certain different boundaries around. Like some people you can be more lax with, and some people you got to be more strict with.
yeah,
Some people just understand boundaries and some don't. You just got to be like, look, I'm not about that. Leave me alone with that. Or don't talk to me about that person. I don't want to hear it. you know. And then there's some
Right.
people who just understand you and just was like, just they like, hey, you know, how's it going? And I know that's your favorite song. Here it is, and or I know that's your favorite food. I brought it over, and I'm like, aw, aw. Now I gotta buy you a gift.
Not me. Miss Julie. Like my thing was this: like when I had stood up for myself, I said the boundary. I cried. I talked. The reason why I cry is because I have anger issues, and I use I use my hands. I put hands on people. You see what I'm saying? So I have been. I went through domestic violence for perpetrators and batterers over 52 weeks. So I had to put the healthier coping skills into play, and one way is to cry, the anger out. So as I'm expressing myself and setting the boundary and talking to them and telling them like, look, I got sickle cell, trait anemia. I have 2 thalassemia anemia. I have chronic depression, due to, sexual trauma, abuse, emotional abuse from my childhood. You know what I'm saying? And the poor economics, in the area I am in from the case I caught with DCFS. Somebody used DCFS for ulterior motives. So it wasn't really DCFS that was messed up. It was certain people used them for ulterior motives. So everything was one-sided, So with going through, all of those type of things, I'm having to like speed this up and let this person know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And all the motherfucker could say is,
Hey.
well, I need to
Hey,
hear.
you did so well till you started cussing. You did so well.
I'm sorry.
I was about to be so proud. I said, y'all ain't
I'm
cussing
sorry,
nothing.
Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. Oh, okay. Y'all act like y'all didn't hear that. Okay. Excuse my French. Whoops. Okay. What do I call them? The third party.
There we go.
Said something like, oh, I need to hear your side of the story, or you should get out more. No, you should stop over. I just told you what my boundary was. Like, can you just leave? So I don't have to, like, you know what I'm saying? So I could just be like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
at peace.
I'll be back. You're disturbing my peace. What don't you understand? You're disturbing my peace of mind by being here. And you're talking about you should go out. No, I already have a safe haven to cope and heal. Now you're disturbing my peace of mind. All you got to do is leave. You didn't have to come here. And I just was like, I guess it just went over their head because it's like, I was fine before you walked up in here. And I'm letting you know that you've disturbed my peace. So the best way to help me is to go do wherever you was at before you came here. So when the person said that, I was like, these people are like straight up remedial. Like you gotta be, I don't know, like some type of addict. The only type of people I know that cross lines and boundaries is people that's at the last stage, you know what I'm saying, of addiction. And that's why I say you got to be some type of an addict, like that, you slow, you remedial, you don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And I just was like at this point, it's just really sad that people is, and I'm just like generally speaking, because I couldn't imagine being like a 50-year-old man or a 40-year-old man right now. And then it's like during quarantine, I'm like, where were you at when quarantine hit? Can you go back over there and stay your ass over there?
Really?
But what's finna be rolled out, like I said to people, certain people deserve everything they gonna get. I say chip them up and depopulate them.
Ooh, dang girl.
I say annihilate them.
And now to the commercial
Like
break.
that not gonna be here 5 years from now. And you think I'm gonna cry for this? No, I'm not. Put a chip in their head. Put the mark of the beast in their head. I don't care. And if you have you ever read the Quran? Man, I got introduced to the Quran, I think last year. Man, that Quran is dope. I thought the God in the Bible was something. I like that Allah dude. I don't know Allah like that, but I like Allah. I was like, that's my road dog right there.
I mean, most of the Bible studies that everybody know are in the Quran anyway. So it's
Yeah, I just got me one, and I gotta read it. I gotta start reading it, but it's all nice and wrapped. So I wanted to photograph it first before I got my hands into the leaves.
because when I say look at the God of the Bible, I mean I know some people, like Christians, not to disrespect their faith, anything like that. It's just like when I say the God of the Bible, like especially like the Old Testament, I'm thinking like what a tyrant this deity is. I'm like, how you gonna call yourself like the Most High? You over here doing this? It's like everything you do is like a whole ego, whole ego massage. He's massaging his ego. I'm just like talking about worship me, praise me. Oh, you didn't praise me. Oh, well, you got to go. Oh, you're not doing. You're not doing this. Even when you had Job, who did everything, he was like, oh yeah, you're doing everything right. You're following everything. I consider you perfect. I'm gonna ruin your life, just to test you.
That sounds like my baby daddy right now.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna really like just test you, and then I'm pushing all this, and then like, oh, and I was hear people talking about, well, he gave him 3 times everything, but he shouldn't even have to go through it because he did everything he was supposed to do. Why was he punished for doing what he's supposed to do? That was my whole thing about it. And I said, I don't see how people can still be Christian at that, but then again, I like look at like, yeah, I mean, I get it, like they, a lot of people grew up with it, so it's like they invest too much time into it, so it's like it's like, well, they have it has become a part of them, so it's like they put too much time and energy to it, so they're not going to just break out of it because they don't want to have to start over. But
Right.
as far as that, like I'm just like, yeah, like that God, the Bible is a tyrant. Like I was like, and I've heard people make excuses for it. I've heard people make excuses for like the horrors of God, the Bible is done. I'm just like, I said I don't see how you would excuse that, because if it was not God and it was a regular person, you would never accept that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like those actions, you would never accept another person doing it to another person, but because God, oh well, it's God, so I can't really say nothing about it. Like, I mean, I'm like, why not? I mean, and they, and I honestly, like how they, if you really gotta like really take the Bible, God the Bible, he's like God the Bible is a tyrant, and then like I guess like they want to make Lucifer the devil, whatever. It's like it seems like he's like he was the hero, like he he was the one that was like, hey, I'm bucking the system. Yeah, I mean, and it's funny, like they talking about, oh, he's the master of lies, but was he the angel of truth?
Yeah, he's the angel of light, and he's
Yeah.
God's favorite.
Well, I guess it was God's favorite until he talked back.
Yeah, well, someone didn't agree with it. Someone was
Yeah, yeah, truth hurts. Truth hurts. So I guess
they took it and ran with it and demonized them. To the point where I'm like, don't you think maybe his minions are the demons and he's actually like trying to control this situation?
Well, I mean, not even so much like the demons, because like that word has been twisted because like it's like come from word daemon, which like to be truthfully honest, like daemons are I mean angels are daemons too. So it's
Yeah,
like
angels are very dangerous.
no, not dangerous. They're daemons, like the you know where the word demon comes from. So it's like they're just two opposites. But that's if you're taking the story literally. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it sounds pretty messed up. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
even
they
with,
said the four
I mean,
horsemen,
well,
they're angels that's gonna come down on us.
I mean, they've been telling that Revelation story for the longest. I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, I think people still be waiting for it. So
I
I'm not even gonna put no stock into it. Even if it is, it's like okay, well, what's gonna happen at the end? Okay, what's next? And I mean, it's I mean from like just looking at the history of the Bible, it's just gonna start over again. You just gonna do the same stuff. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be
it's
different
human
stuff.
nature.
No, it's not even human nature. I'm talking about guys gonna do the same thing over again. You gonna crazy people. If I'm just going like far as the Bible. I don't really actually take it at face value, but like it is real. It is like how they say it. You're gonna create create new. Say, oh, you're gonna destroy Earth. Okay, destroy Earth. You're gonna make another one. You're gonna make more people. Make all that. They're gonna do the whole same thing again. It's probably gonna be a little some changes, some differences, but it's gonna be pretty much the same situation. And then he's going to do the same thing. But I mean, I don't put no stock in the doomsday. 'Cause you know how many times like people been saying the world's gonna end, and then people will be like, "Oh, we thought the world was gonna end," and now they look stupid. You know, prepared for it like 2012. People like, "Oh, the world's going to end December 21st, 2012." You know what I was doing? December 21st, 2012. I was out dancing with my friends,
Well, you know
and
what?
and, and,
For
and, and the
some
world had not ended.
But to some people, it has ended. It's just like we see their lives are ending, and then we see what fires and hurricanes and
But
all
they,
kind
but,
of
but they,
things happening. But
but they,
but
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 they,
I,
but they always been around though.
I know this. But the thing I'm saying, to some people, their world has ended. Even if they're alive, their world has ended. They feel like their world has ended.
Yeah,
They done
yeah.
give up.
Well,
You know,
it's a perception, but I mean, when they talk about like it's like literally
the
gonna
real
end.
world ending.
Yeah.
Nah, it
Well,
ain't gonna end no time soon.
I guess, yeah, I guess real world is like perception, but as far as like the world as we know is going to end and all that, I'm like, and they be trying to like use like like accurate as just, but I'm like, do you know how long people have been talking about this? It's not going to happen. I
Well,
mean,
if you
if people believe it so strongly, right? I'm
Well,
like,
if you believe the whole world, see, people take stuff. See, people don't see different perspective. Like there are nations that has ended.
well,
There are.
it might be nations, but I mean, every time about like the whole world in general. So I'm like, well,
Yeah. See, people
but
take that too literal. Yeah.
well,
It's not the whole world.
I'm just saying, I don't believe none of it's gonna happen. I'm just saying, like, if you take that part, it's just like, it's just like, it's not gonna happen. Like, no matter how many, I mean, people been selling doom for, no, we don't know how long, and then like people get buy into it,
They
and then
die
when they
for
buy,
it.
I mean, no, I ain't dying for it. They just like buy
Yeah.
into it. They buy into it, and then after they buy into it, they see it don't happen. Now they look stupid. So now they have to go back to regular life, and they probably done sold out stuff. So now they done now they broke believing the world's gonna end. So now they have to go back to regular life. They have to go back and work, or at least
But
find
that's
another job.
another
So
thing that these cults use on people is the end of the world is coming. The sky is falling. The sky is falling.
yeah, like be like Chicken Little.
Mm-hmm. That's it's a. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait it out and see what happens.
I mean, I mean, I mean, I
If
mean,
it
I mean, I,
happens, it happens.
honestly, I wouldn't even worry about it. I just like keep living life as you were going to, because most likely it's not going to end. And even if it is, it's like it's like spend your time worrying about it. I mean, if it's going to end, ain't pretty much nothing you can do about it anyway. So it's like might as well live your life until
Right.
until the end.
Yeah, ride it till the wheels fall off.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's like that's what sometimes like some people grow to be 100 and some years old and they tell you like I've seen this happen over and over the decades, and I'm like, I believe it because history does repeat itself a lot. People don't listen, they don't teach their kids, or they don't pay attention. So it goes on and on and on and on.
I mean, it's just people don't want to learn from history. It's like, what I mean, even before they really even stop like really even teaching history like that. Like even when in history class, people ain't really learn history like that. Like most people get uninterested when history comes around. It's like it's gonna something you probably want to know,
I
but
don't know if you're like, it's like bad sequels. It's like, okay, I done seen this again, but it's like you can't stop watching sometimes because you're like, the first one was good, but what's gonna happen next time? You think something different's gonna happen, it's the same thing, and you're like, this is like a deja vu.
I mean that's kind of like the saying that Albert Einstein had like a definition of science is doing the same thing over and
Thing
over
over
again.
and over again.
Yeah, no, I ain't finished. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Hmm. That's
That was
exactly
the
what it
definition of
is.
insanity. Yeah,
And
and
I'm
I,
guilty of that. I'm
yeah,
guilty of it.
I think we all did it like it's at some point, maybe multiple times in our lives, but
But
yeah, I
sometimes
mean,
after a while, sometimes if you fail and you fail again, you can succeed. It
well, I
just
mean,
ain't the
well, I
right
mean,
time.
failure is one thing. I mean, just doing something that ain't gonna work. That's a whole different thing. Like failure is gonna be a part of life. That's part of the process of growing.
Yeah.
But it's, I
Yeah,
mean,
you're
it's,
allowed to make mistakes. Just.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, but as far as that, like, yeah, that's all it is. But yeah, like I mean, I try to tell everybody, like, yeah, don't buy into any doomsday, doomsday things, because you'll you'll you're probably disappointed when it doesn't happen. You're most likely gonna be disappointed.
You're feeding into the negative the fear, the negative energy. You're feeding
Yeah, yeah,
into
yeah, yeah.
negativity.
I
That's
mean,
what
I
they
mean,
want you to
well, I mean,
have
I
no
mean, I mean,
hope.
it's like thing about it is like people, are so fearful. It's like it's easy to whip people up to a panic. I mean, just the situation now it shows you how easy it is. Situation now where everybody's scared to come outside. They scared to be near each other because they afraid they're gonna die or something like that. I mean, and it's
I'm not
it's
gonna lie,
understandable.
I'm scared too. I'm not. people are people are mean out there. They're acting crazy. They're really like acting like they will cough like they will stand next to you, touch you, and cough on you, and I'm like, I'm not no back
I mean, I mean, I
away.
mean, I mean, even for this situation to happen, like nobody should be touching on you and coughing on you. That's just
Well,
nasty.
remember when these kids were licking ice cream at Walmart and all these? Yeah, I think that's when it started with your
No, no,
nasty blood
well,
diseases.
well, I mean, that ain't had nothing to do with the disease, but I mean, people aren't been that nasty to begin with. I
They
mean,
be nasty.
yeah, it always used to like irritate me. I remember like getting, I remember like being on chat. And I was like mentioning like what like really irritated me about like the nasty stuff people do. And I remember like hearing one YouTuber tell me like, yeah, no. I understand what you're saying, but you have to understand, like, people probably wasn't raised to you like that. I'm like, they grown, they have no excuse. They should learn it already. I'm not giving no pass.
No, I've seen it where that's why I don't like using public bathrooms because I've seen it where people just go in there, they don't wash their hands,
I know I
and they
hate that.
touching everything.
I hate that. I hate that. I'm like, I like see somebody use the bathroom, they just walk right out the door. I'm just like, are you kidding me?
Ugh.
That effect. That was one of the things I was
But you're
really
gonna hand somebody's
harping on.
money.
That's one thing I'm really harping on. I don't like really like shaving hands, and like, if I wash my hands in a public bathroom and I have to pull the door open, I'm using my short shirt or paper
Napkin,
towel
yeah, I'm using
to
the.
yeah to hold that door open, and then I'm gonna throw it away, and I'm heading them out. I'm not touching that door.
I'm not touching nothing. I'm like, mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm like wash my hands. I'm gonna get something to open that door, and I'm out. So I was thinking like how hard is that to just go there and just wash your hands for a minute and then just go out. You do want to shake hands and all that, and I just been like, nah.
That's the people who don't care about nobody else but themselves, and
But
so
you,
they don't.
but yeah, but the funny thing about it is the one thing I do like about the whole situation is making those people want to wash their hands. And I'm like, man, I said all these nasty people out here, they were out there being nasty. Now they think they gonna die. Now they try to be clean.
Not all of them. Some of
I mean,
them,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. Well, most of them are getting in line. That's more than I can say. And a lot of people, people don't want to wear masks. I'm like, I don't seen crazy on both sides. Like people wear masks, people don't wear masks. You don't wear masks. If you figure you're not wearing a mask, why are you not wearing a mask? They'll lose it. And then people that don't want to wear masks that'll flip out on people because they don't want to wear masks.
Yeah.
And
I just mind my business.
yeah. I mean, it's just crazy on both sides.
Yeah, I just go in and out. I'm like, I got my gloves on, I got my mask on.
I'm just, you know, you don't do so much against it. It's like you gonna get it. Like especially when they talk about, oh, it's airborne now. I'm like, okay, if the airborne is in your house, what's the point of wearing a mask? Because it's in your house. Because you have to open and close the door. If it's airborne, it's in the air. So every time you open your door to go out, it's in your house. You're living with it. Potentially.
Can I ask a
And,
quick question?
yeah.
Do you think, okay, because I spoke about negative like energy, and maybe it's like a warfare of you know and spirituality, but I'm thinking like some people get I don't know if the negative energy is overpowering the positive energy. It's like people love the negativity so much with the talk shows or the reality shows and the yelling and the women who go berserk. Like, it's kind of
Well,
like, what's going on? They even got babies sitting
well,
there
well,
crying for no reason.
it's like thing about it is it's like if people are buying into negativity, it means that was what they wanted to begin with. Because like a lot of people I see that be like into these dramas and all that, they find that exciting. Like they'll be bored. They find like people fight or people pretend to be fighting or get into a whole bunch of mess as entertaining. And that's their preference. Like I don't knock 'em for doing it, but that's like if you wonder why like a lot of these shows that don't really serve no purpose, it seems like they sending a negative message because people want to feed into it. People wanted this in some way or fashion. So
So yeah,
If they didn't want it, they're not gonna look at it. So obviously they wanted to look at it.
Yeah, because I turned myself off to all of that. I'm like, if I want to see some horror, I'm gonna watch a horror movie. Like if I want to see some, I don't want to
Right.
see people going against each other and then I hear them on the news, or somebody done shot somebody over a TV show, and I'm going like, that's your life.
Yeah, I don't even watch reality TV shows. I just don't get the point of them. But I know a lot of people do, and like I said, that's their preference. It's just not mine. Like I could care less. What I care less about reality shows or like the game shows, anything like that. I couldn't care less for it. I don't even have TV, so I definitely don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I'm like, yeah, I don't take care. If it's a show I want to watch, I'm gonna find it and just watch that show. I'm
Hmm.
plain and simple. I'm not looking to watch anything else. I'm watching that show. I know people like try to recommend me these shows because got drama in it, but I'm like, I don't. I tell them like I don't really care for it. Like I don't want that. I don't want to watch it because I know like why. Sometimes other trailers can tell you a lot about it before you even look at it. And if I see the trailer and look like, oh yeah, this is gonna be something I don't want to watch, I'm not gonna watch it. It's just like
Hmm.
the show Empire. When I seen the trailer, I was like, yep, I know I'm not gonna watch that.
Hmm.
I already know what kind of show that was, and when then people told me about it, like, yep, that's exactly what I thought the show was gonna be, and you confirmed. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to watch it, but it's a popular show. People want to watch it. That's on them. I just choose not to watch it.
But you think that's also like kind of a ritual people are doing
Well, I
when they
mean, well, I
watch
mean,
these shows?
well, I mean, when people try to use the ritual, they try to do is like some kind of spooky thing. Everybody has like rituals, like something you doing. Rituals is doing something every day. You get up, you do a morning ritual. You might go get up, brush your teeth, wash your face, shower, and then you might cook some, eat, or you might go to work. It's something you doing on a regular. So I guess if you want to say like why show like it's once a week, yeah, of course it's gonna be a ritual because you're doing it once a week. It's always the same time every week.
Can I ask another quick question? And I know
Yeah,
you want to do a quote, right?
Oh
This
no, no, go ahead. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm just looking at the
um
visual images. It's calming me
okay,
down.
like I'm from the I have family from the Caribbean, whatever, and now my family doesn't practice magic like that, but there's voodooism, and there's also Santeria that goes on, out there. And people always look at it like, and even in Louisiana, and people look at it like, oh, that's crazy. And I'm like, I don't know. It's not like there's dark stuff, but there's the people that don't do the dark stuff. There's a difference of different kind of people, and it shows you who's different in some type of way. There's people who use um, evil, and there's people who use light, or goodness, and they don't mean no harm. And then there's ones who really want to harm you, or they really want to get over, and they'll go through to any extreme, and to them they feel like they're spiritual. And I'm like, I don't know. So I don't even dabble. I'm like, keep, yeah, I'm that's why I keep my head wrapped up sometimes, like you. I have my I'm like to me that's a safety guard, because I learned from a long time, you anoint your forehead with oil and you wrap your head up, and yeah, keep the bad jujus away, and you don't, yeah, don't put too much makeup on, don't bring too much attention to you. Yeah, because that's all, you don't know what they do with those chemicals. And so, you know, I remember, oh my gosh, I don't know, but people was like, "Oh, do you do like?" I said, "No, I have this natural side of me that attracts certain people. It's a given, and so I just call myself a flirt. But it's a it's a charm. It's kind of like, I attract certain people. Even the bad want to be attracted to me, but I know how to repel them, right? But the good people are like, no, 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 that's definitely, she's definitely like, they get me compared to the others who can't congratulate. I'd be like, "Psh, where'd you come from? You came from a
G
gym
G G
somewhere?"
G G be like, I'm a flirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am. I'm like, I'm a flirt.
Well, I mean,
I guess that's it.
I kind of have too, but most time I'd be kind of playing with the side, like being playful and serious. So it's like, I think, that's kind of flirting is anyway. But
Well, that's what people. I didn't know I was doing that till my cousins or friends would say, "Girl, you are such a flirt." And I'm like, all I did was smile at him.
cause I know, like the way I flirt with Uncle Charles. Like if I flirt with like a normal woman, she been to cuss me out like 6 ways to Sunday. But she be like, nah, she cool. I'm like, oh,
Zero, I seen you dancing. You a flirt. You be
What? I
spinning
gotta.
them girls around, dipping them.
you said who? Say who dancing?
You was dancing. I saw
Yeah,
your video.
yeah. I mean, they all available. I've been having them on
You
Instagram
have
and
that energy,
on YouTube.
making them all smile and stuff.
You talking about the stepping? Like I'm just doing what TikTok do. Say hey, give women a good dance.
And that's
Because
all we ask for.
yeah,
Women will give you no problems.
cause like thing about it is, teach tell me like a lot of dudes don't give women good dance. So like even if I don't like know the best moves, they like if I'm giving them a good good experience, they always want to want me to go dance. So I know like times like I be want to sit down like no, you dance with me, yeah. I put me in like you gonna you gonna
I
dance
saw
with
that.
me.
I saw like, oh, look at this. Look at him spinning her around and stuff, dipping her. She like, yeah, you ain't even
I
moving that much.
Yeah, it's usually like the women doing more of the moving. We just kind of, it's like the guys. We're like
But the vibe be good. They
so
got
yeah,
they got trust in you.
yeah.
Because it takes a lot of trust to dance with somebody.
I
I'm
mean, I
sorry.
mean,
I can't just dance with anybody.
you kind of kind of have to, and it's like the more I like look at it, like it's like dancing with a partner is like kind of like a relationship. It kind of makes the guy be in the leadership role and kind of have the woman taking the lead of taking the follower position. So like if both y'all trying to lead, then y'all gonna be fighting over who gonna
Y'all
do
gonna step
what.
on toes?
I mean that and you probably falling over or or the whole dance be messed up and both of y'all falling and don't nobody know what they gonna do. So it's like you kind of have to. I mean, cause like well, I say they be trying to, even when they tell us fall, they want to lead, and it's like every time they try to do that, it never goes well. It never works in their favor. I'm like,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, yeah, we're trying to lead, should be following.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be on them like, yeah, you shouldn't. I said, yeah, you out there trying to, yeah. That's why I work, cause
And
you were trying to lead, should have been
that's the
following.
secret. That's the secret of dancing. There always gotta be a leader.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's gotta be a leader and a follower. I mean, like I say, if they like there's two leaders ain't gonna work, two followers ain't gonna work. So it's gotta be that balance.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, and it's like, and it was like before like they started shutting everything down. I was like really starting to get into my groove, and I was like, oh man, they shutting it down. I was like, man, I know, like this year I would have really been shutting it down, but didn't get a chance to because they shut everything down, and people were too scared to be around each other. So I'm like, well, I can't do nothing about that. Even though I mean, I tried to say, hey, maybe we should. But I'm like, well, I mean, people that were, certain precautions, but I never got it. Like when they started immediately shutting down everything. Well, oh, we shut down everything. I was like, there was like other alternatives to shut down jobs because that didn't make sense. I'm like, okay, so your first response was to shut down all most of the jobs, except the jobs that you consider essential or important. Which really what they could have done, in my opinion, was they could have had people practice safe standards, had people wearing gloves, had a mask on, whatever, if they're that concerned about it, and just make sure they're practicing good safety standards. That would have been a good alternative to shut down all the jobs and have people a lot of people lose their jobs over this. I mean, I know I lost a job over it. I mean, I got another one not too long afterwards, but I mean, but think about people who just like had to sit home because the job they like working at, shut down. So I mean, it's like that whole thing was the whole situation showed like, hey, you're showed most people your job is not that important. That's pretty much what it said, like, because it's not essential. But
Or you're
you
not
know,
that important to
yeah,
me.
that's what it's like the job is not that important. That's basically what they're telling you, and I mean, of course, now they let some people come back to work, but a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't want to work. I'm too scared to go to work. I don't get. I mean, scared. I mean, I think a lot of people got used to staying at home, so now they don't even want to leave.
Well,
I was like,
you got actors acting stir crazy and all over YouTube, trying to
well,
take over YouTube, and I'm like, can you not do that? Because YouTube is supposed to be for the normal people.
I mean, it's well, I
All
mean,
these annoying,
I
all
mean, I
these
don't know.
actors is taking all our subscribers away. I'm like, can you go sit somewhere? I'm like, every time I look
I mean,
around,
I
I'm like,
mean,
I
I
see
mean, I
Will
mean, I
Smith.
mean,
I see
think about it. They're not taking. I mean, they're not taking my subscribers away. So I'm not worried about it anyway. And I mean, like it's like any celebrity, like I mean, I think every celebrity had a YouTube page for that. Like if they created one, it was like they create one, they automatically have like a huge following
I
because of who
know
they
a
are.
few of them, and I know you've seen me on them with on Instagram, Zero. But the thing is, I even asked them. I said, "What the heck are you?" They're like, they're basically trying to maintain. They're trying to stay irrelevant. And I'm like, then I have to step my game up. So people are like, tame your butt down. You're going online too much. I'm like, no, they're posting every day. I'm competing right now.
Really?
Really, don't be where you should be competing with yourself. But
Well, yeah, I am, but I'm like, no, you're taking my job away from me.
I mean,
But they be trying to support me. They be like, "Hey, okay, G, okay." They be like giving me my props, but I'm like, no, like seriously, this is my niche. I can't even go
Right.
outside and photograph people no more. Like I used to take pictures of them. Now I'm like, y'all just doing poses and stuff on your own. That's
Right.
not fair.
You gonna
That's
take me
not
out
fair.
of the picture? Like, let me do my job, okay? I don't
They're
need
trying to
you
do their
to do
own
your
makeup. They
job.
don't even
Right.
look good on
They
camera.
do. It's too much. Too much.
I be like, what are you doing? I mean, like, seriously, I be getting in contact with them, like, what do you think you're doing? I'm starting my own talk show on YouTube. I'm like, okay. Go ahead with your bad self.
But it's like, but it's like with the celebrities, they already kind of have like they already like established, so it's like easy for them to have a big following because like it's people that were gonna follow them anyway. But like with like people who had to get big from YouTube, they had to start from the ground up. So like by the time they get big, they'll probably have more influence than a celebrity would than the
Well,
regular celebrity
yeah.
would
Yeah,
because
they already got promoters and stuff. They already got it
yeah.
established. And,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, and I know like a lot of people like, well, monetization is like the big thing to go for, but I mean, from what I heard about it, that monetization ain't really paying like really, really from what I heard, like what the big YouTubers get, like when they like how they live is like they have contracts with sponsors, so that's like where the
that's
money
where the
really is at.
money is. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's
mean,
why
you
I did a lot of the Snapple stuff, and people weren't understanding what I was doing. And I'm like, I'm getting paid.
Oh, are you actually getting paid for that?
Yes.
Oh man, okay, I see you. Okay,
But people don't know that. They just think I'm just doing it, but like I'm
Right.
like,
They don't know, they don't know what you got going. Like they're from the
they don't need
outside.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the outsiders. And they don't know if somebody in your DM trying to get you a deal or you know what I'm saying. They don't really know what's going on. Like they just on the outside guessing.
And they don't know who I know. So hey, yo.
sure. I need to,
They don't know who
I,
knows you.
yeah, I need
Exactly.
to, yes, I need
There
to
you
get some
go.
sponsors. I need to get some sponsors. Like, people like, well, I'm not gonna get monetized. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Like, the only thing I want the 1K for is like to have a community tab, so I could post on YouTube.
Actually, I'm gonna give you a secret. Um, some companies actually like when you don't have that big of a following
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because they know, they don't want no haters either.
Yeah.
yeah,
So they kind of like when you kind of keep it. They see that you're structured and you got it low key, and that you're giving out the information to the people who are actually going to buy their stuff. And so what you do is you just contact. Okay, there's always a number and an email address on the bottle or the box or whatever, and you just contact them, and then they look at they look at what you're doing. They don't even look at really views. Some companies do, which is biased, but some actually look. Okay, she's got a sense of humor. She's gonna bring people. People are gonna love her. And so people are always like, "You should do commercials and stuff." And I'm like, "I'm already doing commercials. What are you talking about?" I ain't got no shame in my game. I'll be like,
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Speaking of commercials, like when you get your website up, we gonna need you to do a commercial so I can put it on my channel. Like say, hey, we go commercial break. Like when you
That's
start making
right.
that jewelry.
Oh yeah. I had to take a break because I told you I cut my finger, so I have to take
Yeah.
a break from the jewelry making. But yeah, I've been making copies of my jewelry so I can try and make like a bunch to sell.
Hustling. Okay.
Because it's all handmade. I don't
Oh,
got no people making my stuff for me. I do it all by
you
myself.
feel me? That's how I feel about my crocheting. I had to stop. I was like, now I need to hire some people. I'm like, so all these hoes that can't now one of y'all crochet? I'm like, damn nigga, you got all these hoes and they can't crochet. Now
I
what?
don't know how to
Hey,
do
you're doing it again. You're doing it again, Logan.
Oh,
You're doing it
oh
again.
my god, I'm so sorry. Oh,
No,
I
it's
didn't even
okay.
hear it.
It's
I
okay.
didn't
No,
even
I'm
hear
learning how
it.
to sew though, but I don't know
no,
how to
no.
crochet. I crocheted once
Yeah.
and I made a baby boot and I give up. One, someone said, make a scarf. I said, I don't know how to do this.
Look, I do the first two rows. You got to do the rest.
was like, I'm getting the knots way wrong.
I remember when I first did like trying it. Like I remember. I think I came in late for the NIM class, and I was like, and I came in. I was like, they were showing me how to do it and all that, and then I think it didn't take me long to really get the hang of it. And people have said, have you ever did it before? I said, no, it's my first time doing it. He's like, she was how are you doing? Like, so you say you really good at it. I mean, and it was like really what I did was like I noticed that like when I was knitting, it would follow a rhythm. So I was just like applying my new dancing to knitting.
Oh my God. You
It's
remind me.
calming though,
Let me
Yeah, it
to
was
a
like,
certain extent. But I do other stuff, like I do art and I do like drawings and stuff and paintings. And so people don't get to see that because I don't like to show my good art to people because just in case somebody buys it,
Right.
that's for them. So I have to be careful on my photography and my art. But so when they see stuff, they're like, "Oh, that's cool," and I'm like, "No, I'm just showing you the basic stuff. You don't even know what I'm capable of doing. I just don't want to because somebody already put dibs on it, you know. But it's like, it's weird like that your business can kind of like all of a sudden somebody thinks they can do your job and they're doing it on their own, and I'm looking like, what are you doing? And then so when I come online, because I don't take YouTube serious from the beginning, I didn't take YouTube very sorry to say it on your channel, but I didn't take it
I,
serious. And I'm
I don't care. Like it's like it's just like hey, sometimes you take it serious. I mean, I know some people look at it bit. I'm like, I kind of look at it like that, but I don't. I mean, it's just like me. I just kind of look at an outlet like to express my creativity and to talk about what I want to talk about. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, if it comes to business, I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, I'm just doing it because I like doing it, because I'm definitely not getting paid for it. So,
Me neither, and I don't want to. And because the first, okay, when I got on YouTube, I got blown out of proportion. I was going live. I had like a bunch of people following, and then I was all like, "Ooh, who are these people? I don't know them." And there, some of them were like saying certain things that kind of creeped me out, and I was like, and I'm usually behind the camera, so when I do a lot of my stuff, I'm usually like not lit all the way because I don't like the lights in my house. I don't like too bright of a light. I like to keep it dim because I don't want y'all to see everything. And so people are like, "We can't see you. What's going on?" I'm like, "You see me. I just don't want you to see me that clearly. Leave me alone with that." you know? But, in other situations, I'm like, yeah, I show myself, but it's kind of like I'm so used to being behind the camera that I'm like in front of the camera, I'm kind of like, okay, we're gonna do this, but I could just gotta,
I mean, I mean, I mean,
come
I, I
with
mean,
it.
I get that. Like, I don't really care to show myself too much. I would show like on the laptop, but I don't want people to see too much of my living space. So I'm like, yeah, I don't even want to be looking at it. Like if I would show my face, I would do it on my phone where it's very limited to see what's there. You have to just
Oh yeah,
look at
people
me.
get nosy. They're like, "Where are your pictures at?" I'm like, I don't want you to see what my family look like, so no. I'm gonna just sit against that wall, or I'm gonna be in the kitchen.
I think like me, I'm rarely taking pictures, so that mm, wouldn't be much anything because I just never really took pictures like that. So it's like, my pictures like people taking of me of stuff, but that's not much of anything as far as like pictures of me. Like you would be hard pressed to find some pictures of me throughout my life. I think I've taken very few, like just throughout my life. So
Yeah.
I think like even high school, like I think you might find maybe one or two pictures of me there because I would not want to I would not want to go get my yearbook picture taken.
Oh yeah, I know mines were tore up.
I mean, it's like I said, I think it might be one, maybe two pictures. I might did it once or twice during my whole entire high school experience, but
I took a few pictures that I just don't show, and then I just am. It's with best friends, or say I went to say prom or whatever, but I just don't show those pictures a lot. And then so once I started doing it, because my daughter encouraged me, she's all like, "Mom, you should put your pictures more out there." She's 21. She's all like, "Mommy, you need to show yourself while you're young." She will tell me the truth. She's all like, people can't tell what you look like when you're just speaking. You gotta look the part. I'm like, okay, I'll do a little bit because she loves to take snaps of herself, and I'm like, oh man. She showed me how to do my first selfie.
I mean, I hate selfies with a passion.
So I
Like,
started
like,
doing selfies of me, but people like it, right? So I'm like, oh, whoa. I didn't know I was. And then they're like, oh, you're beautiful. I'm like, no, this is me normal.
but like the thing about it is like, of course, like with men, selfies ain't something like that would be like something like a man would do, be like women that would be fine selfies more the thing. But I mean, I never really liked it anyway, because I was like, I don't want to just hold a camera up to myself and do that. I,
Yeah, because I feel conceited when I do that.
Right.
well, I mean, a lot of people that like take selfies, on the internet and Instagram and all that. Yeah, get pretty conceited.
Well, that's,
I mean, I mean, I mean,
yeah,
I
but
mean,
then
I mean, I mean, to the point where they're just like they ain't even. I mean, they don't even really care about take pictures. They just want to look at themselves.
yeah, but this is what my daughter said. Because she's all like, you're still young and pretty and stuff, and you should document it. And so I'm like, oh, she put it in a different perspective for me. So she,
Okay. Okay. For real.
next thing I know, I'm getting all kind of people requesting my friendship, and I'm like, nope, nope. Tom, I did a whole video about somebody was all like, I want to be a sugar daddy. I said, for what? Leave me alone with that. I'm trying to teach you.
I never got it, but some people like that people with preferences. So
I'm like, because I was all like, what for? What are you trying to do? Like, ew.
You know what
That
he's trying to
it
do.
sounded creepy because that was the first sentence. I was all like, oh my goodness. I was like, no. Mm-mm.
Man, that's
Don't be
so
with me
true,
with
man.
that.
but yeah,
But
I'm in the stream. But I mean, if y'all two want to carry this conversation, we can do it after this stream is. And still stay here. If y'all go stay here this time, like don't.
oh, okay.
Are we
Yeah.
supposed to stay?
Yeah. You can stay after the ends. Like when you leave, you just leave it. Yeah, you supposed to stay. I mean, all I do is just like end it and then do that. That's pretty much
We ain't doing nothing.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm here.
All right.
You're
So
free.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and it
End
is.
it.
I real. Yeah, I'm gonna go give a shout out. Of course, to y'all too, and Miss Full Roller and Love Lake, Purple Love, and I think that's it. So thank y'all for coming through. Holy Vibration people, and we'll see y'all later. Have a